But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Hello.
And with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
What's up, man?
Are you a TikToker?
Yeah, I'm on here doing freestyle raps for people. Could I do a freestyle for you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, dope. I need your help because I'm gonna improvise.
Okay.
Can you give me like a song topic?
Okay, a grizzly bear drinking milk.
A grizzly bear drinking milk.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, I love it. Oh wow, you got a grizzly bear on your mug right there?
Yeah, it's milk.
You drinking milk out of there?
Yes.
Oh wow, so this makes so much sense. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 okay, yeah, come on, yeah. Any forest, I get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, yo, my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk, yeah, I'm a grizzly, it's mad facts, us bears, we got a bad rap, yeah, people aren't really aware, when they see us while they hiking, yo, they get scared, they like, no, that's that dude, that grizzly that's really gonna steal our food, damn, hey, yo, his size is godly, he might even catch us and eat our bodies, yeah, people think that I'ma eat them raw, people scared of my teeth, scared of my claws, people scared cause my size is giant, and they know in a fight that I'm certain to triumph. But here's the thing, I don't like people. I'm not a bad guy, I'm not evil. Nah, that's not the way I'm built. I ain't gonna eat you, I just want your milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur would be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear, yeah. And my fur would be smoother than silk. Hey, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, real big how I been built. I'm not really a fan of the skim milk. I do invent loving to drink the 2%. Yeah, and y'all know I don't make people feel the wrath. I want the half and half. Yeah, yo, look in my eyes, they so dreamy. Pour me a glass of milk that's mad creamy. All the milk, you know it shook me. But hey, I think I'll need some cookies. Yeah, that's gonna make sure my mood don't get low. When I got the cookies, I can dip those. Yeah, if I got the milk, it's a miracle. Yeah, I might need a bowl of cereal. Oh shit, man, he even had the prop. Y'all know we drinking non-stop. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Yeah, and my fur would be smoother than silk. Hey, so I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, and my fur would be smoother than silk. Come on, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, I'm about to make you aware. If you got milk, better pour a glass for the bears. Yeah, I'm out here getting busy. Pour me a glass of milk for this grizzly. Yeah, I'ma make you aware. Hey, go and pour a glass of milk for the bears. Hey, Yeah, I know the milk got me amped, and if you don't pour me a cup, I'll terrorize your camp. Let's go.
Let's go. Hello, Cookie.
I'll terrorize your camp, so let's go.
Let's go.
I'm usual. I'm good, like when being myself and all, but I'm in a weird mood, I guess.
I'm always in a weird mood.
That's probably because you're weird. I mean, I guess that's what comes with the territory.
Exactly, but I quite like being weird. Hi,
I
Sandro.
do, but there are times where I get frustrated with it.
I don't know how loud this is going to be.
I don't always want to be weird, though. Sometimes I just want to be normal, or at least what people accept as normal.
Hi, Chillin. Hi, Paul Joe. They're in
Appreciate
chat. Yeah, obviously he's still on Keith's, so...
Yeah, I know. I was too, and I just came over when I heard you were over here waiting.
Well, I was like, because he's already changed it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I might as well start it. And then because obviously, like, I go in flatses and I'll say, like, smash the lights and that. And Hawkins was in earlier. And Hawkins was saying about the way flats treated Lisbeth or something. And I said, that's rich coming from you. I said, after what you said about Tony's mum last night, Sean said about Tony's mum last night. It was disgusting.
Oh, did he? Oh, he was on the show last night?
Sean Hawkins, yeah.
Wow.
And I said, that's rich coming from you. I said, look, at least we ain't all a twisting old bitter old man, eh? Hello.
Yeah, he's definitely a bitter old man. I'm not sure why he's bitter, but...
No, but he was vulgar.
Hello, Vicky.
Hi, Sandro.
Hello.
You good?
No, we're horrible.
Good night as well.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
And hello, everybody in chat. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible now.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost all his female viewers. He used to get like Pebbles and Cherry Popper and Heron and all these. There's not one of them in.
Nobody
one.
wants to be there. Nobody.
It's not
wants
about the
to
quantity; it's about the quality of who's on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm quality. I'm just saying that it's about the people who are quality people that show up. It's not necessarily about the trolls, is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
we know why the trolls come, right? We know why they come.
I mean, it's still Flats is still doing quality content, but it's the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they're just evil.
And I've also noticed that even the private chat is full of crap.
Yeah. I mean, okay, they can disagree with you, but you don't have to be fucking nasty about it.
No, exactly. So, on Roger and Ryan's stream the other day, was it yesterday, Ryan?
Last night? Yeah. I don't
know. Some troll come on in voice and was going, "You're gonna die, bitch. You're gonna die." I'm like, "No shit, Sherlock. We're all gonna die."
You're gonna die, yeah. Whatever.
And then because I respond to the shit that I get on YouTube, I was then slagged off and called a hypocrite by David Banner on his stream.
Oh,
didn't
well,
say
I wouldn't
anything
take that.
like that. He
I wouldn't take that
waited
too
and then
seriously.
said it.
I mean,
yeah, I saw Chelsea Deluxe and Banner. Banner didn't have a clue about it, but Chelsea Deluxe was telling him about it, and he mentioned PJ's community post about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not aware of anything about
No,
that.
but Sandro, he said, "Fuck all in Roger's live chat," and then he goes on to his own stream, tells me I shouldn't talk about trolls. It's all right for him to talk about me talking about trolls. And
that
calling
sounds
me
like my wife. My wife gets angry with me and yells at me and says I'm too angry. I'm like, what?
He called me a hypocrite because I wouldn't do a live on that Mikey Smith video. You know, that one, that exposure video. I don't know how true it is. I'm not going to get sued for doing something and it being false.
Yeah, nothing against Banner, nothing against Dave, but I know that's not his real name, but he's in Flatsies right now, and he's going off at the trolls.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's putting all these emojis up: troll, snake, clown.
But yet most
You
of
know what I
his
mean?
cat are trolls.
So,
Hi, Saddlebum.
I don't like to get involved.
Well, I'm critical about everybody, but I'm critical with the people in the flat Earth community too.
Right.
I don't just pick on you guys or any one person. I pick on everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody makes mistakes, so we should call them out. But it's easy to just call it out, admit it, and then move on. There's no reason to continue.
But listen,
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with Banner, but because I banned some of his racist little mates, like Graham, Honor,
Yeah.
Gilster Deluxe, because I did that, he's then calling me a fucking hypocrite. He might want to take himself, mate, because I'm not the one sat with my racist mates and you're mixed race. Do you know what I mean? But why didn't he say it in Roger's chat? Why did he wait, go on his own stream with his own little trolls, and then say it?
Because he felt like he could say it there. I don't know. It was safer.
He called me out. I called him out. Done. I'm done. I'll never speak to him again, ever.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's blocked. I can't see him now. He's banned on my channel. I don't want any of them on my channel. There was no need for him to go and say it. He could have come on Rogers. The link was in chat.
Did you notice the comment I made to Michael yesterday?
I have seen it, yeah.
You saw it? Did you think I was wrong for saying it that way? I mean, for making the comment? Do you think I shouldn't have said that? Or I'm just curious.
I don't know. Look, I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't do things.
No, what I said is that he was saying something about, us Christians and all this shit, right? He was basically, fueling on, saying that you were right or whatever. He was backing you up or whatever. And I said, and yet some of those Christians won't even apologize to their brother for saying some shit that they know they didn't mean. He didn't even respond to. And I'm like, really?
No, he was saying there's something off with that area of that group of flat earthers. He was saying, because obviously most of them aren't Christian. They don't believe. Like, you'll see them mock God and stuff.
I know, but I was just basically calling him out for not fucking apologizing. He still hasn't even spoken to me except for like 2 words. He hasn't said he was sorry. He hasn't said that he lied about what he said. He hasn't said anything to me. So as far as I'm concerned, what am I supposed to say to him? I'm not the one that started that whole thing. He's the one that got angry. All I did was call him out for being rude to you. And then he threw it in my face that you were telling all these stuff about me and all. He didn't have to do none of that. But you notice he hasn't bothered to say he's sorry about it. So obviously he hasn't changed. You know what I mean? Like,
look, he apologized to me.
I would have at least said, I hope there's no hard feelings. I didn't really mean what I said. I was just fucking upset with you, and you kind of made me look bad. That's what a human being would say to another one, right? He would say, look, you called me out, and you did it on the place that you did, which only 5 people actually go in there. So I don't know why that was an issue, but that's basically what his attitude was. What I felt like his problem was with me is that I called him out in the play on Element, which there's only like 5 people in there ever.
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't know that he hurt your feelings or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
he did, what he did was wrong. Maybe he doesn't realize that. I don't know.
I'm not saying that I can't forgive him. I'm just saying I can't forgive somebody if they don't ask for it, right? I mean, and I feel like he wronged me. There was no reason for him to do that. He could have been critical of a lot of things that are true about me, right? And use that as an analogy to say that he disagreed with me. But instead, he chose to say that you specifically, Vicky, and I have this written down. I have a fucking copy of it.
No, I
said specifically that you were telling him and PJ everything that I said in the emails, and that was all. You guys were laughing about it. That's exactly what he said, and that's a fucking lie, isn't it?
The only person that's ever read any of your emails is me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
even just incredible. Even after I fell out with him, I deleted all his emails because it's not anyone else's business.
Well, yeah, I hear you. That I usually do that too. And like I said, I'm not about to be showing anybody the stuff that I have. I'm just saying that I do have proof that he did say those things. So it's not like I'm just making this up and this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
you've got to remember though, Michael's not on YouTube like he was. He's not on Keith's channel and stuff anymore. He doesn't, you know, he's moved on
I know.
to doing his own thing. Do you know what I mean? Because
I'm
sometimes
not
you
trying
have
to pick on him. I just don't understand why. You know, I just feel like, you know, if I don't know. I just feel like that would be even if he didn't feel like he was wrong. Even if I didn't feel like I was wrong, I would have apologized. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I'm the one that did. You know what I mean? Like maybe he feels like I'm the one that started it. I don't know, but I was sticking up for you, and I feel like that was the right thing to do at that point.
I get you. No, I get
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
maybe I was wrong, but if you can't show me that I was wrong, but then say all those nasty things and then not even be willing to like offer up, hey, you know, I'm sorry I said that shit. That was fucking not true. Whatever. Yeah, that's all I expect. I don't even expect him to say sorry to me. Just say, you know what, I didn't mean none of that. You know, at least clear your name and say that that you didn't really say that. You know, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. I should know better because it don't matter because it doesn't mean that I'm going to forgive him. Well, I guess I have to forgive him, but it doesn't mean I have to be friends with him anymore. I just don't like, like at the time. It just felt like it was like at first he took it right, and then it just went bad. It was just like all of a sudden he was saying all kinds of, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? You know, like
our dynamics have all changed.
I'll shut up now.
Since then, our dynamics have all changed. Like now, we do our mental health stream. You're on PJs more than anybody. Sandro comes on the panel. Do you know what I mean? We've all moved on with our lives and kind of left where we all were behind. Same like with Disc. I don't see Disc anymore. He's still a mod on my channel. He's still sub to me. You know, I would still talk to him, but sometimes, you know, you move away from people in life.
Well, yeah, if you don't like where you're at or you feel like you don't fit in, then yeah, usually you move somewhere where you feel more comfortable. That's obviously logical reasoning. Yeah. Right.
It's the anus in the hoose. But no. Hi, Baza.
When it comes to Mikey, I don't know anything about all this stuff that somebody's supposedly saying about him, and I don't really care unless they can prove it to me, like beyond the shadow of a doubt, which would be me having to be there to see it or see him acting in some way that, because I know about these things. I'm not a fool. Like I was abused, so I know what that signal. And I'm not getting that kind of signal from Mikey. I don't. Maybe I'm oblivious, but I'm not getting that signal. So for me, it's like if I'm not already getting a signal like that from somebody, I'm not gonna jump on no bandwagon and start hating on them or saying things that, or saying that, or trying to, like, you know,
exactly, and
put it forward that I'm on your side about that, because I'm not. I don't believe in that. I think that's wrong.
My point.
Yeah.
And
unless you've got evidence.
As a criminal conviction for it, I cannot say it, and I can't. That's a fact. In this country, we can't even call somebody a PDF unless they've been convicted of it. So I'm not going to stop the live I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a serious thing for you too. Yeah, so you guys take it as seriously as we do then.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, I'm not going to do a video based on a video from years ago that I know nothing about the people that made it. I don't know how factual it is. I have no evidence in front of me to show me that it's 100%.
Right, or that I should even take it seriously. Right, exactly.
And
it's not just another book.
No, but when they're all sat and they're looking down their nose, like calling me a hypocrite because I call out racism, it's not my fault that you as a minority race don't feel the need to stand up for your own race. So don't come after me because I choose to stand up against racism. My kids, listen, I'm the white mother of Asian kids. I am not going to sit and let people put the P word in chat.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
And think it's acceptable. So whether that makes me a hypocrite or not, I really don't care. But
no, I don't think it does.
The issue was that David Banner could have come in Rogers or even in Rogers live chat, because he was in live chat. He could have said it then. He didn't. He chose to wait until he went on his own live and then called me out. That was my issue. You know. And like I said, I'll never speak to him again now, and I won't, because there was no need for him to be like that.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I agree with that. With how you feel about it. Yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, I don't necessarily agree about everything that happened because I didn't see it and I wasn't there and I don't have privy of it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I always just try to stay out of it. If you
The only
understand that,
reason I knew,
because I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to like pick
the
a
only
side.
reason I knew that what was said is because Roger said to me, "Oh, David Banner's defending us or something," and I was like, "What?" And I went back to look, and I was like, couldn't hear anything.
Well,
Went
according
back
to
the
my
start,
research,
and then it was there that he was calling me a hypocrite and that, and he named me and everything.
Well, I saw the comment he made that you're talking about. I saw it, and I
No,
thought,
it wasn't a
and you
comment.
noticed that I wrote in there, "Uh-oh."
He said it on his chat, on his live. Yeah,
I know, but you noticed that I don't know if you looked, but if you probably saw me make a comment right after that, I said, "Uh-oh."
I didn't look in the comments.
Because I knew right as soon as I heard that, as soon as I read that, I was like, "Oh my God, this is going to be another thing." Like you're going to piss off Vicky. And what was the point of that?
Can I just say hello to people? Hello, people.
Yes.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Chilling. Like yourself, Gadget. Good to see everyone who's there. Good, Baza, bless you, man. I've been waiting for ages to get this one. I've had a few days off. I haven't been really feeling up to streaming, to be honest. And so I just didn't. But yeah, we've got to get it done. But it's tonight's movie night, but I've still got to get this done, which is half an hour. We've got a half an hour left of it. So instead of me like just yapping all the way through it, I'll just say as little as possible. But I'm not going to just stay silent because it's just watching somebody else's video. That's what we do on the movie side. What, baby?
So apparently Chilster was telling David Banner about your community post.
Yeah.
But David Banner apparently was in Flats's having a go at the trolls. So it's all right for him to do it.
Well, there you go.
Not for me. So who's a hypocrite now?
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah, you.
I don't get. I've said what I've got to say.
Well, I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm a hypocrite. I do it all the time.
Everyone can be a hypocrite, but when you're calling me a hypocrite,
I've said what I've got to say, Dave. You've done the video on what you've got to do. We've got to do, and that's it. Who's the man? Good to see you. Hopefully, who are you? Hope you're well.
Hi. Did you say hi to Matt in Rumble?
Oh, it's Matt. I haven't even got Rumble open yet.
I didn't even see Rumble yet.
I didn't even see Rumble open. I haven't even got it open yet.
To be fair, Vicky.
Yeah.
I don't think Banner's a bad lad.
Me neither.
I think he might, in time, when he's got time or whatever, he might apologise. I don't know.
I think it might have been a joke, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't say anything about it. I didn't repeat it because I just thought maybe it was just a joke. But I mean, I get it. Yeah.
No, Don. Not if he's saying things like, oh, so you can call it trolls, but not out PDF files. You know what I mean? When you knew the score, you were here that night, Ryan. You were here that night.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that kind of comment is a little bit. Yeah. I guess
of course it is. That's not joking. But listen, I've said what I've got to say about him. That's it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm glad to hear your stuff. I'm glad to hear what you know.
I sent a community post to him. He hasn't replied back. That's up to him. That's fine. I'll leave it at that. Say what I've got to say to him. You know what I mean? Oh,
hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Babe, can you get rid of flats in there?
Oh, sorry, I left it backstage.
Backstage, yeah. Hey, Mentally Video Virgin, Matt, good to see you, bro. If you're watching in Rumble side, I didn't notice. I forgot I didn't have Rumble on there. It'll be his phone. He'll be back. It'll be his phone. Right. So yeah, good to see all you guys. Let's just get on with it. There he is. See, there he is.
Carrie.
So we just get on with it.
That back button is just. I can't stop pushing it.
Carrie said, music playing here. I just want to say any truther who can't.
Mandela. Can't see Mandela.
I think you're on about Just Incredible, I think. But it's okay because he's banned here.
Music playing. No, he's telling. No. He's just saying he's got music playing there. That's all he's saying.
Yeah.
I've got music playing here.
He's on about truthers who can't. The Mandela effect.
Yeah, it's just saying in general. Any truther can't see the Mandela effect.
But Just Incredible was the one snitching, saying Carrie Skates turned on him over the Mandela thing because Carrie not Carrie. Justin doesn't believe in the Mandela effect. Hi, Matt, man.
Hey, Matt, man, good to see you,
What's up, Matt?
bro.
I'm going now.
Well, you know how I don't know where. Maybe you do or you don't. I don't necessarily believe Mandela is what these guys are saying it is, but I do see that there's all kinds of weird things where people remember things different. But I don't know what that means. I like to watch like Sandy's show and stuff like that. I like to be involved with that. I like to listen to what they talk about. I like to all that. But I'm not sure I necessarily believe what they say about it. But does that make me not a worthy listener? I don't understand. Why would you want to alienate me by acting like that? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I see
You
it.
know, even if that was true, why unless I was causing trouble, why would you?
I think he's mainly talking about scriptural as well, because I mean, if you can't see it in scripture, then your eyes are painted on, definitely, because everybody sees it. I think that's what he's saying. He's not saying that you have to define what the Mandela effect is, but he's saying that if you don't recognize it, but you recognize it, Ryan.
I do, and there's some that I swear that they've changed, but you know,
you're just not saying what you think it is. You know what I mean? I think I know what it is to a certain degree.
Yeah, I think I
know
do
where
too,
it's coming from. You know what I mean? But there you go.
He's also not a God-fearing man, like a God-believing man either. Do you know what I mean? Like they all over there mock God and stuff. So it is what it is.
I don't know. Is this eyes painted on about the Mandela? I don't know. Is it?
No, he doesn't.
Have to believe
He
in it
doesn't
in order to be part of the whatever though. Either I don't know.
Two people.
I still enjoy watching the shows and stuff and listening to it.
All right.
Hi, Luke.
Hey, Luke. How you doing, man? Right. Let's just get this video done.
I'm going now.
Okay, babe.
I just came to start.
All right. Thanks for doing that.
Love you.
So I'm going to love you too, baby. I'm going to
love you.
I love you, babe.
Bye.
Bye, baby.
I'm going now.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Right. We got about 15 minutes in. It's got about half an hour to go. So yeah, last time we didn't really get into it. So because of I want to get it done. I'll get it played and get it done. I'm not going to say too much through it, but obviously I'll have things to say here and there. But yeah, we've got 15 minutes in. Let's just go from here. Let's do it.
Is the one calling for this judgment. See, when people are confronted with this, most Christians immediately shut off their brain to the evidence because they're offended. They're assuming that we're insinuating that Satan is more powerful.
Oh, Matt, mentally divergent. Bless you, man. I'll see you next time, bro. Bless you, dude.
Than God, or he's got the upper hand, but they haven't listened long enough to find out that God has removed his word as a judgment many times before. I record 10 different events of that in the Bible. And so those suggesting that this idea of misquotes, they can't even produce the misquotes they keep referring to. And they certainly can't show how they could possibly be repeated enough times to have this word.
That's definitely done by AI, isn't it? Nothing in there is spelled properly. That's definitely an AI picture, but yeah, that's funny. But yeah, he's right. They're not misquotes. You know what I mean? They're not misquotes. It definitely used to say lion and lamb. Now it's wolf and lamb. You know, it hasn't been changed by any Bible company or anything. It's just changed retroactively for some reason. Don't know why. I think I know why, but you know. Or how? Not how, but I think you know who's doing it.
If they change something like, evil to good, then I think I'd be worried. But when they use an analogy of an animal they're both predators, I mean, I'm just not seeing the value of it. If I was going to do something like that, if I had the ability to change something, why wouldn't I do it better than that? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the whole scheme is how they get you to accept it. I don't know.
Because if it just went all of a sudden, if it was just totally corrupt all of a sudden, then it'd be like, oh, hold on. If the whole Bible changed just like that all of a sudden to something completely different, then it'd be like, oh, hold on. There's definitely something going on there. But if it's gradually changing.
Maybe what we're offended by isn't that. Maybe more what we're offended by is that God would allow that.
No, I'm not offended.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I'm not offended by it, though.
And why wouldn't we be warned about that? Or does the Bible warn us that?
Well, yeah, could it be part of the delusion? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but don't you think they would have pointed it out better? I mean, they go to all this detail about the Holy Spirit and all these other things. You'd think that if that was really something important that we had to watch out for, they would have told us about it, or even mentioned it, or something, or in some way or another.
Who would have told us? Who would have told us?
God, like God, or the people that wrote the Bible.
Well, I think it does. I think it does tell us. I'm just saying. I just said what maybe it's part of the delusion. I'm not sure.
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, we don't know absolutely everything in the Bible. I mean, look at some of the
No,
things
we
that I described in Revelation. We've got a basic idea of what it means, but some of the things it's described in there are like unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Do you realize? But do you realize how bold of a statement that is to say that it's being somehow changed in your Bible? It's not being printed differently. It's literally changed and morphing. That's a crazy thing to say. I'm not saying that I don't accept it, because I think you might be right on some of this, but at the same time, I'm trying to stay with my logical mind and what I know, and if that's true, that means then the word can change, and if the word can change, then what?
Hold on. It's not the word. It's the inspired word of God. Jesus is the word. Jesus is the living word.
Yeah, I understand that. I know.
The Bible is just ink on pages.
But if I base everything I believe in on what's written in that Bible.
Yes, but then it's written on your heart. You know by the Holy Spirit.
But do you see the problem where if I think if that means that somebody could change it
future
in
generations won't even get to know what the Bible's all about, because they'll be reading a Bible that's totally corrupt. That's why I say to people now, get the meat while you can, because what if it's totally corrupted at one point?
That just seems like a harsh treatment for someone who accidentally got in here.
Look,
like it's not even our fault.
Hold on. Some people have been Christians, right, without the Bible at all. Some people have been
I realize that.
And they've never read the Bible once in their life because they haven't been able to. How come Baz is that?
But they've learned from their experience what goodness is, right? I got you.
Right.
Yeah. I believe that's possible. Yeah, I believe that you can be godly and not even understand who God is. Of course you could.
Yeah. Baza?
Mm-hmm.
The Gospels.
Hey guys, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. We can hear you.
Hey, Baza.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm brilliant.
I just wanted to I'm getting by one day at a time, hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
but
it.
I just wanted to say what Ryan was asking about with the Bible and it being changed. It does mention in Revelation that don't. Some people can argue that that's too Revelation, but Amos 8:11, and I have a very interesting personal story with that scripture in particular. But Amos 8:11 really is the one that points to it.
Yeah.
I'll not send a famine. I'll send a famine upon the land, but not a famine of bread or of water, I think, but a famine for the word of the Lord.
That's true, Kerry.
So the word of the Lord shall not be found. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Kerry Skates, that's true. Wineskins is a change that's undeniable, because bottles doesn't make sense. No, of course it doesn't. Because how do you degrade a bottle? How does wine degrade a bottle?
Well, glass just has to be cleansed and sanitized before it gets reused. Yeah, right. But it is porous, so I guess.
But yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but
the skins and bottles, the skins and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to overtalk. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you're saying.
Carry on.
Well, the skins and bottles, the biggest impact of that is that the parable doesn't carry over. That's the whole point of the parable. You can't put new wine in old wineskins, because when you put new wine in a skin, it goes through the fermentation process. It stretches the skin. So you have to put it in a new wine. Old wineskin, it'll burst. Bottles don't do that.
No, of course not. Of course not. Exactly right, bro.
Most of these corks, actually.
Right. Should we continue? Yes. Tell me to stop.
I'm just saying. I know it's the most obvious thing to say, but it's still true, right?
Sandro, did you have to say something?
Now, what I was going to say is it just things being rewritten? So, say if you've got a Bible and you know for definite it said a certain thing, and next time we look at it, it's changed in your physical Bible. Or is it just that things get rewritten in a different way? It's like Like the
No,
fruit of the
it's a
loom,
physical
Mandela
change.
effect
No,
thing with the
That's a physical
because the
cornucopia.
one where I'm talking about, it's changed in my Bible.
That's just rebranding.
No, it's not rebranding. No, they haven't rebranded. Nobody's claimed that they've changed any of the words.
Yeah, no.
Same as
Now,
anything in the
now
media as
I'm
well.
about like
Yeah,
the fruit of the
my
loom, the
personal.
cornucopia label.
Yeah.
People have got old clothes in the wardrobe, say, that's got the cornucopia, but they've just rebranded the label, and they're calling that
No.
Mandela effect. I'm
But they
not too
haven't
sure on
rebranded
it, to be fair.
But they haven't rebranded it. They've claimed that we didn't. It's never been like that. They said it was never the cornucopia. But yes, I do.
Yeah, if
agree
you look
that
at the, if you,
hold on. I do agree that some brands out there will be playing on the Mandela effect. They'll rebrand something and say, no, it was never like that. I bet some brands are doing that. But initially, no, of course, everybody knows the truth about certain things, and especially scripture.
We need to do an experiment.
You know,
We need to give
some brands will take advantage of the situation. Obviously, some brands will do that. They'll take advantage of it. But listen, we all know that the Monopoly man had a monocle. I bloody know it. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And they haven't claimed that they changed it at all. And if it's happening in scripture as well, and we know that was scripture, then it backs up the media side of it as well, you know? So, but you were going to say something before.
Yeah, and PJ, the thing with
a lag. I think it's because there's a lag between us or something.
Yeah, there's some kind of lag. Yeah.
Go for it, Bazza.
I was going to just say with the fruit of the loom, what we were talking about a little bit ago. If you look at the corporate branding of all of these Fruit of the Loom, Ford, Volkswagen, all these companies, and you go back through their patented logos and all these registered trademarks and all these things through history, the company themselves will indicate through their whole history that their labels never existed that way ever. They never printed them that way, the way that we all remember them. So the corporate side of it has all of that covered. As far as the Bible, like Ryan was saying, my own Bible that I've had and learned from since I was about the age of 10, when my grandma gave it to me, has changed, along with all the others, of course. But yeah, my own personal Bible, I read words that weren't there before, that I know for sure were not there before.
Like, I don't remember unicorns being in there ever. But then somebody's telling me unicorns are in there. And then someone told me that something else is in there. And I'm like, what?
Well,
Planet's
now in the King James Version, isn't it? It used to be.
Yeah. Second Kings, yeah.
No, this was something else that was just really weird.
Like Luke said there, look, 10 Commandments were on tablets. It was always on, you know what I mean? They were on tablets. Now they're on tables.
Wooden? I thought
there's so many.
No, not wooden. Not wooden. It just says the 10 Commandments were on tablets.
Oh,
now,
not where you said wooden. Oh, okay.
No,
I heard you say wooden. I was like, wait, no, don't start that.
Now
but then when I start thinking about it, I'm like, well, how would...
Freaking hell, now it says tables, but tables are wooden. So yeah, I didn't say wooden, but tables are wooden. I didn't say wooden though.
Table. Well, I guess. What's the difference between a tablet and a table? I don't.
Well, a table has got 4 legs, and you eat your food off of it.
Well, but there's also the other metaphorical definitions. That's what I mean. It's like maybe we're just, I don't know. Like that's just weird.
It was always tablets.
That's what I thought too.
Well, they are all weird.
But
they are all weird, Ryan. Here's the thing: if you try to find a logic in it, for it to make sense as an association,
but it's where it goes though. But see, this is what I mean though: is once you take that away from somebody and they think that things like that can be changed on purpose, and they have no control over it, that's a lot to get someone to have someone accept. You get what I mean?
Well,
like I have to basically accept that I'm crazy, that things can literally change, even though I know that's physically impossible. It's doing it anyway, and that that means we're all nuts, right? Because we're seeing hallucinations.
Here's the thing, bro. No. Hold on. Here's the thing. You're not seeing a hallucination. Did the people with Jesus see a hallucination when he walked on water?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's to my point.
But if you asked them how many ripples were on the water, and then they all had a different number, would you really think that they were lying to you? You know what I'm saying? That kind of that's what I mean, I guess.
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that it can be it's scared the hell for us right now. It can be a good thing. Who always believe
Baz, the signal
also,
must be
You're cutting out a little bit. I'm not
yes,
a
but
lot.
yeah,
Cutting out a lot.
consider that.
Baz, you're cutting out a lot.
PJ,
Can't hear what you're saying, Baz. You're cutting out.
PJ.
Yeah.
Right, I've just Googled I wrote in 10 commandments written on and pressed enter, and it says tablets.
Yeah.
So I'll put 10 commandments written on
A
tables.
possibility. So when it's
And
in
it
the book,
says, did
it's
you
okay because
mean
it sounds like
written
a
on
long ago
tablets?
time, and we can believe that Jesus did that thing.
Yeah, because
But
the most common,
you know, nowadays with our science mindset, we have a hard time accepting it.
Baz, stop a second.
Yeah.
You've been talking all that time.
So,
he's still talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm good.
Since you were talking before, because you cut out for about a minute.
Yeah, we didn't hear at the very beginning what you said at all.
So
We only
you
heard
just
the
come
end.
in there.
Oh, gracious! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, all I was trying to say is that it's, you know, it's the effects that we witness, I think, are supernatural, and that can be, you know, scary and discomforting and all these things. But you have to consider also that the world we live in is supernatural, and God is supernatural. So
I realize that,
you know,
and I know that because I felt presences before, so I know what you're talking about. I know that wasn't my imagination because it wasn't just
yeah,
me.
I'm just saying,
But
don't
I mean,
let that,
I've
you know, you
seen,
can't let
I've
it
been
scare
witness
us
to
off.
things that I can't explain. So I do believe in things that I can't explain. It's just that, you know what I mean? I'm struggling with this because I'm trying to figure out, like, how does that make any logical sense? And I don't like things that don't make logical sense. I've just taught myself how to be logical over the years. You know, now it's like going to be impossible to try to go backwards. It's like, what? You know what I
And
mean?
that's
Like,
why I'm
struggle for me, I guess.
and that's why I'm in PJ's camp and where I think it originated.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely spiritual because if anybody's doing it, it's Satan. It's not the people in person. It's because they're inspired by him.
Happen.
Just like people that do goodness aren't doing it of their own volition. They're doing it because God works through them, right? Am I wrong? Because we're evil, right? Our flesh is
They're
evil.
like,
So
holy crap, something's going on.
yeah, right. Something's going on, yeah. But I mean, what is it? Or should I even worry? Because a lot of things people have been telling me my whole life. Oh, the world's going to be ending next weekend, and God's going to come, and the rapture's coming. I've been told this my whole life, over and over and over, and it never comes. So now I'm to a point where, like, okay, you're going to have to show me a logical reason why this needs to happen. You know what I mean? And so now that I've gotten to that point, now you're telling me that, well, you can't be sure of that. That's difficult to believe. You know what I'm saying? You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
It's difficult.
yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah,
I've already had to realize that I was lied to by everybody in my life. Now I have to realize that I can't even be sure of what. Like, that's insane. Like, it scares me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
You
I
know,
get it. Growing up in a family of faith, I have also had to learn a lot of things that people have taught me that I found out were not correct. If you just read the Bible for yourself, and other lies of the world as well,
right?
you know, that
But
I've come
you
across.
go do
But
that now, and then it's not right.
Guys,
Like,
hold
you
on
want
a minute. Hold on a minute. For Sandra, there says it there, and he declared unto his covenant which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon two tables of stone. 2 tables. King James.
Okay. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying. But you said you put it in, and I'm just showing you that in the actual Bible it says it in the actual, even in the paper Bible. This is an online Bible.
What's that? Deuteronomy 4:13.
Deuteronomy 4:13.
I'll have a look at mine, and I'll get back to you.
Have you guys heard of the dead internet theory?
Yes, I've got a video. Listen, I've got a video saved about it for
Maybe the internet is just a big lie. Maybe everything on there's a lie. You know, that maybe it's just that it's always been that way. We just haven't like actually acknowledged it yet. It's like I already know everything on TV is a lie, but if I found out that everything on the internet and like everybody talking on there was a liar too, then that would make me really scared.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true, but I'm just saying.
Dude, I've got a stream saved to play it. I've got a stream saved. No, I've got a video saved to do a stream on it. You know, at some point. Right? Can I get on with this video?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Baz. Would you want to finish off what you were saying? quickly.
No. I just wanted to say, you know, God says fear not. So I know there may not be any explanations for this thing, and we may not understand it, and lies and deceptions and all these things in the mix. But like I say, I personally think that it was just a wake up message for everyone. I've been told the rapture story and all these things all my life, and nay it because it hasn't come to pass, even though my whole life everything's felt foreboding. But
Yeah.
for those who believe and those who don't believe, I think it was just a way for us to think to this existence than
Got you.
just what the science books tells me. So
Yeah, got you. You're right. You're right. I mean, I've tried doing all the clicks on noise reduction and all that, but no matter what I do, that's the best I can get your mic to do. It's really clippy, but it's the best I can get your mic for some reason. It's just like it's got a lot of like clicks in it, like staticky. You can hear what you're saying, but I'm just letting you know there's lots of like. If you watch it back, you'll see what I mean. You know what I mean? If you watch back,
I'm gonna see if I can switch out.
It would have to be some sort of invasion of the body snatchers type scenario. This leading argument is just a lie, and church leaders need to stop suggesting this immediately and do their homework on this topic. Just download my free book at alteredbible.com, and you can watch the videos there and find out everything you need to know about how and why this.
Yes.
Yeah, in my Bible, I got the large print amplified Bible.
Yeah.
And in Exodus and Deuteronomy, it says tables.
Tables. There you go. Yeah.
But
Isn't it?
for me, it's always been tablets.
Exactly. It's always been tablets. I was just about to check mine as well, but I don't need to since you checked yours. But yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever actually read. Well, consciously.
I mean, I've checked it before anyway. I've checked it before, but it's always worth checking again in case they flip flopped. You know what I mean? Because it's already flip flopped, that one, I think. It's already flip flopped.
Why would it flip flop though? That doesn't make sense either.
Don't know. To confuse people even more. I don't know.
I guess so. Well, it's already got me confused, so it's
exactly. So there you go. Point proven. Point proven.
Because I can't even keep straight what like.
Well,
yeah, like
look at the Houston. There's a problem. Like Houston, we got it up. See, I can't even quote it properly
Houston,
now.
we have a problem. Yeah,
Houston,
I know what the fuck they said. I repeated it 1,000 times.
So many times, man.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times.
Yeah, I was reading Exodus a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure I read tablets.
Yeah.
I don't remember reading tablets. I just remember they always told me they were stone tablets, kind of like someone, kind of like a stone that you put in front of someone's grave. That's what I always imagined it.
Yeah.
But a tablet is from the root word table, so I don't see why it would make any difference. To be honest with you, but that's just my logic trying to talk to me into agreeing that it doesn't matter that it changed, right? I guess that's what that is.
Yeah, probably the definition is the same.
Well, the message is still the same. So yeah, just go with the message.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, but that's what I'm saying is like if other things start changing, then I'm really going to freak out. Like if they start saying Jesus, I don't know, we got movies about where Jesus just decided not to go and sacrifice himself and decided to stay on earth, right? I mean, we got movies like that. It just scares me. It's like, what happens if that happens? And I'm just supposed to I guess I better start studying now so I can remember it all, right? Or should I even waste my time now that if they've already started changing things? I don't know. It's scary, to be honest with you. It's almost like I need to pray about it instead of worry about it.
I can't do it for that. I need to download it because it won't.
I had those same thoughts.
Because if they can change even the memory data that I have in my own files and the things that I speak in my own voice, then if you're saying that they can change me, if I talked about it in the past, you're telling that they would change what I said in the recording if I had an old recording of me saying the word right? That's just fucking weird, bro. How the fuck do they do that? Only spiritual could answer it, but I'm saying how? Unless the world, unless we've been, I don't know, dude. I'm starting to wait. This is fucking weird.
Ryan, as long as I've chased this rabbit hole, which has probably been for 5 or 6 years now, the only thing that I have been able to conclude so far is that it seems like changes don't happen to things that you create, like if you made your own recording, and it also seems to have an issue with joyful moments in people's lives or whatever. But Yeah, so I think if you had a personal recording, it would probably be the same. But when it comes to media and crap like that, I think it's just a universal change.
Where's what's that?
But I'm saying, like, if I've got an old Bible tape and I go listen to it where I know I've heard it say one thing and then it says another, that's gonna fucking scare me, dude. That's a lot different than just changing the words, because I could be wrong about the words. But now you're saying that it's down to the point where I can. Oh, come on, dude. Do you
Well, I mean,
realize?
it scared me when I read different words on the paper of my own Bible that I've had my whole
Well, yeah,
life.
that's what I'm saying. I think
Scared me.
I think I've seen that. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be arguing the way I'm arguing if I didn't already believe that there was something to that. You know what I'm saying? I am affected, if that's what you want to call it. I do think that it said "lion with the lamb," and I remember seeing pictures of it. But you know what? Now that I think about it, when I start to think about all the photos and things of people writing that, but that could still, in my mind, even though I'm not sure about it, my mind wants to tell me, well, that's just because everybody remembers things differently, right? And you know what I'm saying? And if you never really paid close attention to it, like, is there a blue banner behind this, blue ribbon or whatever the fuck, you could say anything.
Well,
But it's
that's
with
why I
me, it
always
seems like,
say,
but they're coming out of the woodwork now. Everybody's saying that all these things are Mandela, and I don't think a lot of them are. And it's starting to irritate me, because it's like, well, how am I supposed to discover the truth about it if we got people that are just going around saying everything is, and they're jumping in and out of portals and shit? It's like, come on, dude.
all you can do is hold on to the anchors that you have, that because everything else is
Right.
speculation. It'll just
I
muddy
get
the
it.
waters. But
But I mean, when everybody, when you go to a Mandela room and it's like these people and they're telling you, oh yeah, I jumped into this and that, and I'm all, well, I think you guys are all in my reality, because my reality seems pretty firm except for a thing.
Right.
But then
Ryan,
they're like,
shush,
well, there's still
Ryan,
things anyway.
Ryan, shush a minute. This is something that Luke in chat sent me. Luke, the one I looked at before was fine. I was just sharing it on the wrong thing because I shared it on Windows, but you can't share the sound in Windows, so I've had to go full screen. So yeah. So the sound to it might be a little low, guys, but let me just see. But listen anyway. I think there's residue in this. I think it's residue in here that he's on about. Right, listen. Hold on. Right. Go.
Canis development proceeding. Acquire headpiece. Staff of Ra. Abner, Ravenwood, U.S. Nazis have discovered Canis. Just what does that mean to you, Canis? Well, the city of Canis is one of the Wakeuporelse places of the Lost Ark. The Lost Ark. Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant.
Hold on.
The Ten Commandments. Yes, the actual Ten Commandments. The original stone tablets that Moses brought down from Mount Carmel and smashed.
There you go. Residue. That he said tablets. He said tablets, and in the Bible it says tables. So why in movies would they say tables? It's in most movies would use a King James, but he said tables. He said tablets. Listen. That's why I said shoes, Ryan, because you were talking. Well, we start listening. It's very low. It's very low.
If you believe in that sort of thing.
Because it's a phone looking at a TV screen, so it's very low.
You guys ever go to Sunday school? Well,
I heard an echo.
The Hebrews took the broken pieces and put them in the ark. When they settled in Canaan, they put the ark in a place called the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, where it's
hold on. I didn't go far enough back. Listen.
Possible resting places of the Lost Ark. The Lost Ark. Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant, the chest that Hebrews used to carry around the Ten Commandments. What do you mean Ten Commandments? Talking about the Ten Commandments. Yes, the actual Ten Commandments. The original stone tablets that Moses brought down.
Stone tablets. The original stone tablets. Yeah. So there's a bit of residue. There's a bit of residue. There you go. Sorry.
And I also thought that there was 15 commandments, but he accidentally dropped 5 of them.
Yeah, I already had that video. I was just when you play it. What do you mean mute myself when I wasn't talking through it, you weirdo. What do you mean mute myself? I was trying to tell people what to listen out for, babe, you weirdo. I was telling. Oh, it wasn't me. It was mute. What do you mean I need to mute myself? Why?
And I thought they were fighting with themselves.
You can't hear it because it's very low. It's come through WhatsApp. It was a phone on the TV, as you know. So yeah, it said tablets. It said tablets anyway. Instead of tablets. I can't. I've tried to download it to the computer, but it's not downloading. And then it'll play a lot easier. But for some reason, yeah, it's not downloading to the computer. Let me just see if I can find if it's downloaded to some other part. No, it just won't download to it. Camera roll, what's that? What's that one? No, that's the wrong one. Clip charm, right? No. Documents.
You know, the other day I misspelled skate. I spelled it with a C for some reason, and for like 2 minutes, I couldn't figure out why Roger kept making a comment about no, or somebody kept saying you don't even know how to spell skate, and it didn't occur to me that I was spelling it wrong for like 2 minutes, and then I was like, oh my god, did I really put a C in there? What the hell am I thinking? Like,
oh yeah, got you. Hold on a minute, Kerry. Sorry, I haven't watched the chat for a little while. I've been trying to do something, but I couldn't get it done. Hold on. You're 5 minutes behind. Who's 5 minutes behind? Right, I don't know. Send another few, PJ. Load more to find the next stream. What you've sent me stuff. What stuff for now or right? Let's have a quick look anyway. I'll have a quick look, see what you sent me. Right, let me just continue to play this.
So Christians, and especially church leaders, should really be ashamed of themselves for trafficking in this consistently reckless and unresearched response to such an important topic. You all need to slow down and just tap the brakes and admit that this evidence that we're bringing forward has no logical or biblical response. It's irrefutable. And because of that, you need to come to the place where you will at least consider that there may be a more nuanced understanding of the doctrine of preservation, as well as how the preservation promises have been handled. It doesn't mean God's a liar. It's just been the people at the front of the room that are lying. And even the guy at the front of the room learned it from some other guy at the front of the room, because he certainly didn't learn it from his Bible. See, you cannot produce one scripture that teaches that inspiration equals preservation. And that is one of the main pillars of the doctrine of preservation. Inspiration equals preservation. It's an assumption, though. It's not a doctrine. So it's duplicity, because it is definitely presented as a doctrine.
No, I haven't got it yet.
And then we found out, as we went back into the Word with a new set of eyes, that the terms Bible, Scripture, and Word are being conflated to being the same thing, but they're nothing of the kind. Well,
Kerry, I haven't got them yet. I haven't got them. They haven't come through yet. They might take a little while then. Sometimes they do. But I haven't got them yet, bro. I haven't got them yet. Let me just check the email address I put in. Noisy bugger. Did I put, bro? Make sure I put the right email address. I did. It was pjprettyboy76@gmail.com. Oh, right. I'll put this up. Can't see where I've done it. Okay, no, I put in the right email. It's not there at the minute. It hasn't come through. But I'm sure it'll come through in a bit.
if you embrace that, then the preservation promises take on a whole new meaning. I mean, I've been in the ministry for 40 years and none of these concepts ever crossed my mind. So I don't think I'm very different than other people. So people need to really dig themselves and just download the free book and just scan it at least. Find out why centuries of theologians were wrong because they had never had their collective teeth shaken loose by this kind of judgment. The supernatural Bible changes have forced a closer examination of semantics that we all deal with. And if you slow down long enough to consider what's in that book that I wrote, you won't believe what the scriptures are actually teaching on preservation.
Oh yeah, who said that? Sandro, have you shown the movie Dark City? Yeah, we showed that about, when did we show that, Ryan? About 2 months ago? Dark City?
Something like that.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, something like that. Maybe 3 months ago. Sandro?
I don't know
Okay.
exactly how long ago it was, but yeah.
Maybe you can't talk for some reason.
You could probably search in there.
Yeah.
Your videos.
Yeah. We've done Dark City, Sandra, definitely.
Yeah, okay. That shows how the possibly Mandela effect could be done.
What you mean? You mean like
when they come around and change everything?
Oh,
Well,
right.
everyone-
Yeah. Got you.
That's about Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Dark City is about that. I know. Have you seen that one?
Is it midnight? Everything stops and they change everything. But there's one guy that's immune to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they recognize it because they're never ever in the daylight. They only have memories of daylight, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a good thought. It's a good thought.
It's weird how that kind of turned out to be true, huh?
Why ain't I getting these emails?
I don't know. What emails?
Eric Skates has sent me emails and they're nothing's come through. The last email I got some flats about the round table, and it's not gone through in my spam either.
Huh.
Let me just recheck. Spam.
Maybe he got it wrong. Maybe he spelled it wrong or something.
Yeah, try again. Just in case. It's like, let me type it in again, just in case it's like it's no capitals at all. It's just PJ.
Well, in my book, since I met you somewhere on YouTube, all I had to do was type in the first part of your name, just PJ, and your email automatically came up.
I'm me. With you. Right, PJ Prettyboy76@gmail.com. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely my email.
Way more profound than what we've been led to believe. The sworn testimony of millions of Christians is not the result of confusion due to all the different versions or modernizations or misprints.
All right.
Passages that I'm about to show you will be very unfamiliar to most people. I do it all the time. I go into Christian groups all the time, and I always have people tell me all the time, I never knew that was in my Bible. So you will have the same experience.
Give me 2 seconds.
You will find these changes that I'll share with you are in the 1611 Cambridge, all 5 revisions, the 1769 Oxford, and every KJV Bible in print on any shelf, in any country, in any century, and there are virtually no exceptions. You will find them as well everywhere in old sermons, commentaries, and prayer books, but don't let that throw you, because these anomalies are everywhere you would look, because we have a new timeline behind us. The timeline that we lived through is no longer what is behind us. So the fact that you can find Matthew Henry, for instance, talking about the wolf dwelling with the lamb is not proof that the Bible hasn't changed. To us, anyway. And do you scoff at this because you say that's impossible or ridiculous? Well, so is the sundial going back 10 minutes, or the sun standing still over the valley of Ajalon, Bible believer.
Yeah.
You'll also
Very true, that. It's impossible for the sun to stop, but not with God. Know what I mean? How you doing, Baz? You managed to get back in?
He works in mysterious ways.
He does. Are you all right, Baz? You all good?
Yeah, I'm back in. I'm good.
Oh, you sound better now. Have you changed mic or something?
Yeah, I got some different headsets.
That's better. That's a lot better. Nice.
also find one of these renderings in all the original and subsequent editions of every other version you can find. These passages have always been in every Bible, period. So in order for it to be a modernization, it has to be one way in the earliest copies and then different in later copies, which they're not.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not a
which is logical, obviously. If it's changed by man, if it's changed by hand, then obviously then it was one way back then and there's a different way now. But it's never been.
Right.
And people have seen residue and seen changes physically. Seen it.
Print, because you can't produce the version that has the misprint.
Exactly. But
in order for the misprint,
because the thing, that's the problem with it, because it's being changed, you can't get an original with it not being changed. That's the point. That's not the point. I mean, that's probably the point of the thing, so you can't check it, but there's plenty of residue out there. There's people doing sermons, reading from the Bible, and saying these words that it used to be, you know? LMP, good to see you, bro.
Theory to have validity, you would have to be able to produce the version that's misprinted, which you can't. So the scriptures I'll share with you are in two groups. Okay, the first group are just unfamiliar and don't seem to really affect doctrine very much at all. And
even if that was true, one mind, then that's only one scripture that accounts for.
Everybody will answer in the same way. The second group, however, are also unfamiliar, but they do seem to introduce themes into the text, like vulgarity, dark themes, innuendo, and blasphemy. Now, all of these examples, however, are universal. So they are in virtually every Bible version on earth, KJV and all the other ones. If you do find some obscure version that has a different rendering, its ability to skew this debate would be negligible. So,
never seen the dot email. All right. Okay, so I should have them now, should I? Let me just check.
Why couldn't they just change our memory then?
Well, exactly. That's what Satan's short seasoners are saying as well, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, isn't that a logical concept when you consider like what we're throwing at it? I mean,
well, why? What is it got to do with memory? It's what you mean. It's like the words are changing. That's not memory changing.
We're probably asleep, and that we're all really in a trance, and we don't realize it, and we're being fed this shit and being convinced of it, even though it's not really happening. That's the only thing logical, right?
No, not at all. The only thing logical is that it has physically changed, because that's what we see.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, once you see that, but how? I mean, how
is it logical that we're lying in bed and people are putting things in our mind?
Picture it in my head unless I have like a photographic memory. I don't know how I could be sure of that enough to like. I don't know.
So like a billion people's testimony is not enough. Okay.
No, because not everybody says that. I've asked people and they tell me, "Oh no, it's always been this way."
Because it's people splitting it, obviously. But people, I'm telling you, I've seen it happening. I've seen it. Fine. If you don't believe, that's fine. That's fine. I observe it. Simple as that.
I've seen it. Yeah, I think I have seen it, but it's just I don't know I don't know what to do with it. How can I not be afraid of anything that's saying that it can do that?
Fear not.
The devil itself, even though it says right in there you're cursed. I mean, I know the devil's already cursed, but
fear not.
Never thought
fear
about
not. Fear not.
Exactly. And also, I mean, not everybody experiences the Mandela effect in the same way. Some people say, no, it's always like that. And they remember it like that when other people don't.
Problem is, if we are asleep, then how do we wake up?
Fear not.
Say again, brother.
I was just saying, fear not. The only thing to wake up to in this realm is the true creator of it, and what your point is relationship with that creator. That's all you can do.
I'm just pointing out that I observe it, doing a stream on it. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, you don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to. It's just information for some people.
I mean, you have to do something with it. I think.
No, I do, but people don't in general. They don't have to do anything with it, but I do.
Yeah, I think that's where Ryan is with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna fuck me up, dude. I don't know if I want to be around for that shit.
For what?
Like, if things that happen to me don't exist anymore, like, what am I gonna do then? Like, if my wife tells me, no, that never happened, we never got married, what the fuck am I going to say? Like, am I supposed to just go on with it or what?
I don't think there's anybody
you know what I'm saying?
To that effect, that's kind of different.
Yeah, well, Ryan, that's what I was saying.
Like, if this is just the beginning of it, then it's going to get worse, right? They're going to get better at it, and they're going to, I mean, come on.
Kerry, I'm not on Telegram. No, how come it's not sending? That's my email address. And everybody else can send to me that address, no problem. Ryan can. And anybody else can.
I'm probably crazy. Yeah, I send it to him all the time. I send him emails all the time. Him and Vicky both.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm not on Telegram. No, sorry, bro.
Yeah, you're talking. Were you asking me?
Yeah. I was gonna say that's kind of like what I was saying earlier about how it doesn't seem to affect so much the personal things, and I think, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, it's only affecting worldly things. So, like, it doesn't affect your life as far as what you experience or what your previous experiences were, but it's affecting these worldly things. And I think that's also why it's affected Scripture, because there's a large camp of people who put that book on the pedestal where Jesus Christ should be.
Right. That's maybe why.
So
Because a lot of people
I think that's to wake up those who believe already.
It's really a godly way of defining a Christian, a real true
Maybe.
Christian thing.
I mean, Lord knows.
Because
Lord knows. But I mean,
you know better, right? Like,
some
you know
people
better.
some people certainly worship the Bible more than they worship Christ. I can name one person. I'm not going to. She's a lady, but I'm not going to name her.
Well, I would almost say that I kind of do I would just admit that I probably do, because usually when somebody asks me about something in the Bible, I'll go and read it and then I'll make the decision.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but you don't worship the Bible more than you worship Christ.
Well, no, I talk to God.
Well, that's
what I'm saying is there are people who idolize the Bible, yes, as the same, put the Bible on the same level as God, and the Bible is Scripture.
God is the voice in my head, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he argues with me, and other times he tells me that it's to do stupid shit, or he just agrees with, or whatever, just says whatever, do whatever you want. But I always wonder, like, if it's not me in my head, who the fuck is it?
There you go. Hey, Luke, how you doing? Luke, how you doing, Giannis?
Hey, everyone.
I think in words. Like, what is that about?
G'day.
Good to see you, man.
I can remember things in pictures, but I don't. Whenever I discuss them, it's like I can't. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like that's holding me down, or it's some kind of primitive way to communicate. Always hated typing. Yeah. Like, yeah, you can get really fast at it, but I mean, still, you can't type faster than people can talk, can you? I mean, I don't know. Can you?
I agree, Kerry. Mandela is a terrible name for it, but it's stuck now. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, exactly. Mandela
same
really
as,
is a bad name.
yeah, same as.
It's an awful name.
It's an awful name. It is an awful name.
That's not even a Mandela effect for me.
The butterfly effect would be a better name for it, considering that movie is more about like what
Ryan, hold on. Wait till Luke's talking.
I'm sorry.
Luke's talking. Luke.
I just wanted to come in because what Basil was saying about the Bible verses and whatever else is changing. I'm saving all of the salvation verses in the Bible, because I think it's such a salvation is such a simple message. It's grace through faith, not of works, not of yourself. It's faith in what Christ did on the cross for us, and it's such a simple message. And I don't think that I'm keeping an eye on that. If that changes, then there's serious issues.
What if I printed the Bible in my own? Would that change?
What's that?
If I wrote the Bible down now in my hand, in my writing.
Well, I'm writing out verses in my handwriting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do it all the time.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
or whatever.
Yeah. So some things like this Luke 23:43 changed. I don't remember it being today, two separate words.
Yeah, I know it's today, and then.
Does anyone else remember that?
No.
And one of the most obvious ones is the Lord's Prayer, because I grew up Catholic, and we used to say the Our Father. They still say it in Catholic Mass. Tomorrow, Sunday around the world, they'll be saying Our Father, the Lord's Prayer, and they'll be saying, I'm telling you, they'll be saying trespassers.
I still
but
do.
That's not. It's never been that way. It's been dead. Yeah.
I still do.
You look at Matthew. You look at Matthew 6.
It's written 3 different ways.
6:9. Look at Matthew 6:9, and it may have changed back.
Pray therefore, like
bad
this,
light here. Sorry,
our
guys.
Father who's in heaven, hallowed be your name.
Yeah, forgive us our debts.
What is hallowed?
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven.
Yeah, it says it there. Look.
Yep.
I don't remember it quite like that, but I also don't remember hallowed be your name. For me, it was always thy name, but I've only
Thy
ever read
name.
KJV.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, come on, everything's slowing
As well
down.
depends of the Bible translation.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
this
yeah,
is King James. This
hello.
is King James.
Hello, hello.
Well, I'm telling you, in the Catholic Bible, it's got debts as well. But the priest every Sunday prays it, and he's saying trespasses.
Really?
Yeah.
That you can get Catholic live streams of mass,
Yeah, I remember as well trespasses. Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
still saying it.
Yeah, I remember when I was at school and we had assembly. It was always trespasses.
Yep.
No, but that's your experience. One mind, that's your experience. If it's always been debts to you, fine. It's always been debts to you. It wasn't always debts for me.
Please give me the exact verse, and I will check it in the Matthew Bible.
I just remember how we prayed it when we prayed it out
I
loud.
don't
Like
think-
we spoke it in church. I remember we prayed it the other way, but I know it's written different. But I never thought about it. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Janusz, the last time I checked on that, it was changed in all the translations, kind of like Lion and the Lamb, but I might be wrong about that.
But if I write the words myself and keep a record of what the Bible said at one point, if I write it in my handwriting, they can't change that, right?
That you think so? That would be residual.
But I know, so that means if I wanted, so then that's the way I could make sure that I keep the Bible as close to what I think it is, right? Okay.
Yeah, I write all over mine, Ryan, all the time.
Like,
As soon as I remember something.
Like that's what I'm thinking of. The next thing I'm thinking is, okay, if this is true, then how do we get around
It's in theory, but I've heard as well stories that the people were sure they have written down certain word, and later what was changed in their own handwriting.
That's what I thought I heard someone say too, but I'm not. I guess they could have just been saying that.
I may have witnessed that myself before.
One man says trespasses was learned from Catholics.
Are you sure about that, PJ?
I don't know.
I know I'm saying one man says that. I don't say that. I don't say that.
I went to
I didn't learn it from Catholics. I can guarantee you that.
I didn't learn nothing from Catholics.
So you got birds over there too, huh? My birds around here are always going on.
Anyway,
my birds are louder than your birds.
Obviously, this time they were, but just a minute ago, I swear you guys should have heard that because there was a bird right here, like right in the back.
Yeah, trust me, I heard it.
You heard it?
I thought it was your bong.
No, yeah, maybe it would, maybe it is, but that's only. I'm the only one affected by that, ain't I? I mean, wait a minute, you're getting high from my weed. Wait a minute.
Just osmosis. That's what's causing it, dude.
I guess so. Yeah.
Right. Let's go on with this.
Is it that one?
These Bible changes seem wildly unfamiliar to you, which I'm sure they will. And some of them seem to be doctrinal paradoxes, which I'm sure they will. And if you don't believe that they should be in your Bible, which most people don't, and if you'll have to admit that it's the first time some of them are coming to your attention, ever, which I'm sure they will, and if you can't bring yourself to defend the doctrinal paradoxes as being the inspired word of God, which I hope you won't, and you can't explain them away by suggesting that there are some rogue versions out there that contain these anomalies, then what's your explanation? If the unfamiliar ones don't exist.
The multiverse. It's got to be the multiverse, guys. It's got to be. There's people who believe that. There's people doing the Mandela out there and they think it's to do with multiverses. Worlds colliding and
all that other horse shit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the only way to explain it.
I don't blame them for believing that. It's going to be. It sounds like it's becoming more and more difficult to even know what reality really is.
Roger.
Right.
Roger.
Hello, Roger.
Roger, you were saying?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, Sandra then. Sandra said
that was me.
Sandra,
saying the multiverse is the only way to explain it, really. Something happens, you go off onto a tangent to a different universe. That's the only way to explain it, I think.
Exactly. Keep track of all these universes so that they don't accidentally screw up things that are important.
So Sandro, how do you explain the multiverses that you're talking
Well,
about?
that's the thing. If there's a multiverse, then there can be no such thing as a universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
some people believe in multiverses.
We need to prove one universe.
Started with one verse, though.
Sorry,
Exactly.
Sandro.
You need to prove one universe.
Yeah.
Started with one.
Every decision every person makes will take it to a different parallel, whatever universe. I
Yeah,
don't
except
know.
we all crash back here and have just to eat the wrong spelled Fruit
And
Loops for breakfast.
we'll end up in PJ's bloody live stream.
So if you end up in a different universe, how do you know you are real?
So when I meet you in heaven, are we going to laugh about all this shit and say, "Look, we got through it somehow"? Or is that even possible anymore? That's what I'm asking.
Exactly.
I hope I need to get all you guys one day.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
In any
would
version,
be nice, Beth.
the way that we remember them. How can we be confused by versions? And how do you explain these doctrinal paradoxes that shouldn't be in our Bibles? I'm going to get to them in a second. So if you're determined, though, to stay
Keep saying that, just get to them.
in the Bible can't change camp, and you feel like you've been painted into a corner here a little bit, I would imagine that the only thing left for you to do, no, you will put on your cape and become commentary man. You'll go into the underlying root meanings of the words and engage in the most unimaginable theological gymnastics that anyone has ever seen.
PJ?
You're going to be forced to attempt to debunk.
Yes, bro.
Do you know of this guy?
Wakeuporelse. Yeah.
This is what he's like. He just never gets to the
he
point.
Tends to, he does tend to whinge a bit.
Yeah.
He's an old woman.
Yeah. I got a question. He's triple S as well, isn't he?
I don't know. I do this constantly.
Yes, he is.
Go off on a rant. Yeah. All about what I was talking about.
So this guy likes hearing his own voice, is what you're saying.
Just don't really.
Well, he's not a bad bloke. He just goes on sometimes.
Right.
Bibles. And it doesn't really mean that Jesus.
You mean oh, okay, that's cool.
There we
go. Does this book ever mean what it really says? Well, it doesn't really mean that Paul robbed churches. And it doesn't really mean that Jesus is telling his followers to slit the throats of people that won't follow him. It's just a parable.
That reminds me of the slay. Jesus saying to slay.
That's
people.
a big one for me. Yeah, that's a big one for me. Jihad Jesus.
Jesus, yeah, Jihad Jesus. Slay people. I mean, come on. When did Jesus say slay them?
Well,
that's part of loving your neighbor as yourself, dude.
Hold on, one at a time. Roger or Ryan, who?
Let Ryan go. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's not like I don't want to do that. I want to annihilate evil around me. Yes, when I find out that there's people doing certain things around in my neighborhood, in my town, yeah, it pisses me off and makes me want to go do something. But am I really the one that needs to do that? No, I'm usually the one who tries to talk everybody else into doing it, or at least letting people know so that more people are conscious, and then they go and do something about it, right? I can't always do it, but I want to do something, right? Don't you?
You cannot be the judge, but you can.
I don't want to be the judge. I just don't want to tolerate those kind of people nearby me where they could do that to me or my family.
But let me finish. I think you will like what I'm saying. Only God can judge. You can only speed up their meeting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I was, I do know. I was saying that's part of love thy neighbor as thyself. Slice his throat.
It doesn't stop me from wanting to get violent with people when they're violent with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like really hard for me nowadays because I got abused as a kid. I got beat up by a lot of people, like not just my friends, but like my family members and stuff.
But you have the right and you have command from God to have righteous anger and act on it. So that's why God as well commanded to get rid of everyone from the certain, let's say, tribe, and don't even leave children alive. Because even if one survives, nothing will change. So you are commanded by God to do it.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I think that was a little bit different when God commanded us to kill saw certain.
No different, my friend, because those are still with us. Nothing changed from the time of the Christ, from the time before Christ. Nothing changed. They are still with us.
Yeah. I mean, 2 Corinthians 11:18. I robbed other churches by receiving support from them.
And we are in this. Sorry, go on.
That's all right. No, I was just reading the top Corinthians there. I robbed other churches by receiving support from them, so as to serve you. So that's Paul saying he robbed from churches. That can't be right, obviously.
That's a misinterpretation. That's crazy.
And we are in this trouble now because we have disobeyed God's command, because He told us what to do, and we disobeyed. It's on us, not on God, because God knew what will happen, because He's omnipotent. So we disobeyed clearly. That's on us, not on God.
Yeah, C3PO's golden coffee does Mandela stuff as well. Absolutely.
I was going to suggest. Yeah, I was going to suggest like he just packs a punch. Like he, in 10 minutes, he'll just do. There'll be like 15 unreal Mandela effects, a lot from movies and song lyrics, and they just blow you away.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So Sweet Caroline has
this stuff up. You gotta guess the next lyric in the music, right? Get it?
Yes, that's right. He does.
Really mean Jesus is spitting in people's faces. And of course, Isaiah didn't do anything wrong by having sex with the prophetess in Isaiah 8:3. Prophetess was his wife. There's nothing immoral here. Well, forget about the fact that the Bible doesn't tell you anywhere that it's his wife, or the fact that you can go into any pastor's office and say, hey, pastor, hey, did you ever hear that Isaiah knocked up a prophetess? And they'll say, no, John, I'm not aware of that. It shouldn't shock you that there's a passage in your Bible that describes.
What he's referring to, that he wants to make human like God. We are not. We never will be. So it means we are flawed. That's what God said. Only good is God. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Chilling. How far into the chosen are we? Well, when we go over to Rumble, we'll be doing it's season 2, episode 7 and 8, or 5 and 6. It's either 5 and 6 or 7 and 8. It's either the end of season 2 or nearly the end of season 2.
Describes people.
We'll go there after we've done this.
Drinking their own piss and eating their own dung.
Now that one kind of like drink their own piss and eat their own dung. I was like,
it used to say God curses people that do that, but now it doesn't say that.
That's what I'm saying. It says that people do that. I mean, I can't remember ever reading that before. I mean, it doesn't seem right to me, but can I say that's a Mandela effect or a supernatural change?
I know it's been in there.
No, I can't say it is because I don't know from personal experience, but it doesn't seem right to me. You know, I can't say from personal experience for that one. But I've always.
Okay, how about this one?
Go ahead.
How about this one? See if you guys can finish this verse. This is John 8:31-32. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall
set you free.
Set you free.
No, it's always been make you free.
Make you free.
Make you free.
I say it every day.
Yeah, that's a change.
That just sounds retarded.
Yeah, I say it every day. Here the sun sets free, it's free indeed. And I always say sets. You know what I mean? Always.
Yeah. Hey, PJ, can I say something about it? It almost sounds like it's woke. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Look. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So are the two women grinding. They're pretty low.
It's so inclusive.
So inclusive. So progressive.
Yeah, we got the two women grinding, so we include everyone now.
Yeah.
And Jesus with breasts, so we got the trans in there now too. So that's cool.
Yeah, and Pops. He has Pops. That's right. He has Pops.
It would be the first time that that's ever come to your attention that that's in your Bible. I know that's true. Some of you listening to me right now are agreeing that what I just quoted has never come to their attention. It's perfectly understandable.
That's a possibility as well. Curtis Kate says, I think the Mandela is duality, like everything good and bad changes. I'm not sure on that, but I mean, I suppose it's worth thinking about.
God instructed.
If people change their language somewhat, I understand changing a few things, but it does change meaning sometimes. There's a lot of verses that they change one word and it'll change the whole meaning of a verse. That's the problem. You know,
Can't do. Yeah. Hey, plain simple truth. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
His people to sacrifice female sheep, even though the sheep are a type and shadow of Christ, and he's a male, and of course the same book instructs them to sacrifice male sheep, and no one remembers that being in their Bibles. It shouldn't shock you that you were totally unaware that there was a passage in your Bible that described women with wings. It seems like some sort of demonic female angels.
Parai.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard this one either. I mean, like, there's. I remember when I used to watch EYA. I mean, I used to think, yeah, there's a lot of them they go over, and yeah, definitely some stuff there that's wrong. But that is, I mean, wrong as in it's wrong. That never used to be in the Bible. But some of them I just think is a bit going too far with some of them. Is that your that's tweeting, right?
No,
I think that's me, PJ. Yeah, I was gonna say EYA is there's I've come across a few of hers that weren't correct in my opinion. But
yeah, of course. I think they just go a little too far with it. But I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong about everything, but I just thought they went too far with it. Anyway.
Of course, that could slip by anyone's attention after 40 years of intense Bible study. And there's nothing tawdry about Jesus touching babies or, any doctrinal ramification of Sarah.
So it says, then lifted I up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up Ephah between the earth and the heavens. Okay.
Yeah, that's the female angels there. Yeah.
That doesn't ring true to me either, to be honest.
No.
It doesn't seem right.
Zechariah is kind of a strange book, though. I mean,
of course. I mean, it is a prophet, but would it be that strange? I mean, I've never heard of female. Yes, we've always seen depictions of female angels, always very angelic and all that. You get the female name Angela and stuff from Angel, but biblically, I've never read about female angel. To be honest.
Can I say something?
Go for it, of course.
I do remember just a while back I looked up the word experiment, right? And when I was looking up the root words, like what the root words meant, it said that Peri, not Peri, P-E-R-I, was actually a name for female demons who were protected from the judgment or protected from something until the judgment. I forget what the exact definition was, but I was like, what? Did I get the right word? And I looked it up a few different times, and that's what it came up with. I was like, that's weird. And then after that, I heard someone else confirm it by reading that verse, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know the Bible talked about that. But I guess there are female angels, actually. And some of them became demons and were fallen. So I guess just because it always talks about angels in the manly form, there were both male and female, I guess. I don't know.
That's right. Kerry just said, who cut Samson say in the Bible? Well, we all remember Delilah, don't we? But it doesn't say Delilah, did it?
Who cut his hair then?
Sorry?
It was Delilah. Delilah had someone else cut it.
Oh, Delilah had an assistant or a servant do it of some sort. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all remember Delilah cutting his hair. That's right, Kieran. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Giving Hagar to Abraham as his wife instead of his concubine. So, my question with all of this is, how blasphemous and vulgar and laced with innuendo are these scriptures going to have to get before you realize that God is sending a judgment upon his church to get your attention? Like when he spoke to...
Yeah, I'm not going to claim why it's happening. I mean, I know, like, people have got different ideas. To me, everybody's got all different ideas.
No, that makes a lot more sense than what I've heard so
I'm not
far.
going to claim 100% one thing because I don't know for sure, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree with you, PJ. But I do think it's kind of a wake up call for everybody, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I won't claim exactly. I mean, I think I know who's doing it, but I mean, I could be completely wrong and the other person could be right. That's why I won't claim it. You know what I mean?
Consider my servant. Consider my servant Job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Evan, good to see you. At least you got here for your movie in time, anyway.
Well, it won't be long. Well, it's already happening. Men and women and fathers and mothers are turning on their own children. Think about it. It's actually happening. It's right out there in the open. You're just not seeing it. Yeah. I've been trying to like deny it for years, but I've been seeing it come, and it's like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when my grandma. I remember hearing old ladies when I was real little, like old ladies then would used to say, "Oh, the world's gonna go to shit in no time at all. You watch. Give it 40 years." And and sure enough, they're not joking around, man. They were right about it. It's like, how did they know? Like, how did some of those people know? Like, I guess, once you've been around a while, you can see it. It's really hard not to see it.
Exactly. Oh, Luke dropped out. I don't know if you meant to, Luke, but if you did, bless you, bro. Oh, no, he didn't, because there he is. I just said bye to him as well.
He's messing with you, PJ.
Abraham told Abraham, I want you to go slit your son's throat, which was, of course, in contradiction to what he would later tell Abraham or Moses, giving Moses the commandments. Well, Abraham knew that. Abraham knew by intuition that this was wrong. But see, Abraham chose the voice over the word. He had to pick one or the other. But he knew God's voice. He knew God personally. And
there you
the
go.
church, however, is choosing the word over the voice because their doctrine has become an idol. The entire church is failing.
That's true, isn't it, though? The doctrine do become. Look at like the Sadducees and more the Sadducees. No, the Pharisees. I would say. Look at them. They took the doctrines as idols. They didn't. They were looking more at doctrine than in law rather than God Himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, traditions.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing though, because you've got people like my grandmother, bless her heart. She taught us what I knew of the Bible before I started trying to find out on my own, and I came to her with this ME thing a few years ago, just to kind of try to ease her into the possibility that, hey, the world is a lot different now than what people realize.
Yeah.
And she is not able to wrap her mind around it. And I'm okay with that because I know that she believes, so it doesn't really matter. But
exactly. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't.
She in the gospel. You mean she believes in the gospel?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think if anybody in my family that I have the possibility of seeing later, if I get there, I'll get to see her. She's founded, well founded her whole life, and when she was coming up, she taught all 4 of her children Bible lessons daily. They had to sit down with the Bible and write side notes in the columns and all these things. So I didn't grow up the way that my dad did with her, but I mean, it's just something that some people have a hard time wrapping their mind around, and that's okay. It's going to happen. But she doesn't idolize the book. She has her own relationship with God, and there's that. But if you spent your whole life with this book, it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around it changing.
Yeah. No, fair play, man. Oh, say again. Put the link in. Link for what, bro? Put the link in Brian's group, PJ. What do you mean Brian's group?
For what? Yeah, that's a good question. What link?
Yeah, I think he's on about Brian's. I'm not on Telegram though. Hold on, where?
Telegraph. I think he's talking about Telegraph.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't gotten a Telegram account.
Yeah, I got rid of mine because the people over there are vulgar to a point, man. They'll start looking you up and start sending you crap.
My link. What? As in the link for this stream? Because that link you put in, where's it gone? Go on, Carl. That one. Right, join group. Telegram. Okay, if I do that, then what happens?
Well, you'll set up an account.
No, it tells me I've got to download it and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got to download it. Okay, I'll do that. I'll have to do this afterwards, Kiri. I'll have to do it afterwards, bro. I'll put my link in there. But I thought he doesn't do anything anymore, bro. Oh, nice one, bro. Nice one, dude. Because I can't get into it right now. It tells me to download and stuff, and I've got to get this side done so I can get over to the Rumble side because it's nearly 1 a.m. for me, and I've still got another probably 4 or 5 hours to go. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway.
So you got a date with personal sun, huh, PJ?
Sorry, bro.
You got a date with the sun, don't you?
A date with the sun. Yeah, we've got to go and watch another 2 episodes of The Chosen, and then Heron picked a movie. What's Love Got to Do with it? Another Tina Turner story. So have a look at that.
The question is as follows. Since it is an undeniable empirical observation that the entire human race is misremembering between 10 and 15 very familiar passages in exactly the same way. And
that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing it's people contest about. Well, it's just everybody misremembering. How does everybody misremember all the same thing? How does that happen? You know? And people have got
how do rock bands forget?
Yeah. How do they forget their own words?
Rock bands are forgetting their own songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That surprised me with all the drugs some of those guys did, bro. I'll tell you what.
Even James L. Jones said when he in an interview, he repeated the script. There's a script from Star Wars. And he said, Luke, I am your father in it. He didn't say no. He repeated the script, the dialogue that was in the script. And he repeated it in an interview saying, Luke, I am your father. But yet the movie says no.
Now, here's a good way to probably figure this out. Like Star Wars was actually a written book before it was a film, right? Yeah. Go look at what was written in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Same as Mirror, Mirror. Everybody bloody knows it. Everybody knows it.
Since this is mathematically impossible, and it could not be happening by chance, there has to be some cause.
I don't know about mathematically impossible, but it certainly seems very impossible to me.
For that observation. Since I have eliminated simple, everyday misremembering, confusion by Bible versions, confusion by modern.
Sorry, Kim, I didn't see that. Good to see you, Kim. Good to see you. And you, Jono. Good to see you, bro.
Modernizations and misprints, since I have eliminated the idea that we are just charlatans, biblically illiterate boobs, delusional, or that it can be explained by the idea that there have been a rash of
Do you want to talk while I go to the toilet, or will I leave it playing?
I don't care. You guys want to talk?
I'll do it. It's up to you.
It's up to you guys, I guess. We all got stuff to say, I'm sure.
Go for it then.
PJ.
Yeah.
I'm dropping now.
All right, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, always welcome, brother. Always welcome.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers, everybody. Good night.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Night,
Oh, John was here before I even got here. And I'm saying hello to him like he's just turned up. I didn't know. Okay, babe, I got you. That's funny. Right, you're talking or am I playing? I'll play it because you're not talking.
Reminding you to say hi to your subs. That's what keep reminding.
Quotes that are confusing everyone. I give you the following question. This is all we want. We just want a straight answer from our church leaders. This is regarding the unfamiliar passages, which I'll share with you in a second. You ready? Here's the question. It's not complicated, okay? If we're not confused by different versions, which I've clearly established, because they're in every version. The passages I'm going to give you are in every version. So you can't, it's a translation confusion. You're a liar, okay? At this point, you're a liar. It's not a modernization because all of the scriptures I'm going to give you are in the beginning original publications and editions and any version afterwards. It's in every Bible. It's not a misprint. It's not caused by misquotes.
So there is some that's in every single Bible, isn't there? There is, definitely. But not all of them so far. But yeah, there is. I mean, I suppose I haven't read every translation to personally say that for a fact, but there's probably people that have.
Well, I'm going to ask a question right quick. Hold on. Now, Yana's favorite Bible, the Tyndale Bible, does it have any Mandelas in that
I didn't notice anything. For me, so far, is the most reliable. This one and Geneva and Ethiopian Bible. So those are pretty accurate. Rest, after 1611 of the King James Bible, which I do not touch, there are different translations, different words. So,
what about Isaiah? What about Isaiah 11:6? Have you checked those just by chance?
Okay, is Isaiah what?
The line
11:6. Yeah.
Isaiah 11:6. Give me a second.
Because I know some of these changes have been seen all the way back to the scrolls.
Yeah.
Isaiah 7:6?
11. 1.
Give me a second. 11.
It's 9:11 when you invert it.
Yeah.
Interesting side note, I think Revelations 9:11 is the Abaddon Apollyon verse, but I could be wrong.
Here's the verse I posted in the private chat.
Okay.
It's Old English, so yeah, it's a bit different.
So it says the wolf as well. Yeah, it says then the wolf, spelt with an A, shall dwell with the lamb. It's all in Old English. And the leopard shall lie down with the goat.
Yep.
But it's goat spelled Gote. Wow. Bullocks, which will be like bulls, lion and cattle shall keep company together, so that a little child shall drive them forth. Sorry, it's a bit hard for me to read Old English, but I can get it.
That's why I tend to think God is doing this, because I think that's a message to look out for wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, you've always said that. I tend to think you're not, but I'm not dead set. I'm not dead set.
Some of the stuff that he said plenty of times has made a lot of sense, but I could never figure out exactly why, and now it's starting to make a little bit of sense. Okay, I'm here, I'm listening. But
I mean that one, that one for me kind of makes like it would be from that side of the camp, but there's so many others that are blasphemous. I don't. That's why it's hard for me to go along with it. I think maybe it's allowed, but I don't know that it's direct.
I still don't think.
Well, at least I don't want to believe
what's happened so far. I still don't think it has changed the full meaning of Scripture yet. Yes, individual little bits and that, it'll be black, but the full meaning, all in all, together, it hasn't corrupted that yet. Especially if you're
for me, it almost feels kind of like Duper's Delight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, guys, even if
Like,
David is
yeah,
talking,
when they hear you saying the word, yeah.
and trying to change it, you know, like I'm sure that the Vatican has different versions because they are deceivers. So even if take under consideration that all of the versions, even after 1611, they still keep the same message. Christ was born from the Virgin.
That's right.
He died on the cross for our sins, and he has risen. So all the core beliefs are still there. If some minuscule things have been changed, for me that doesn't really matter, because the core is still there.
Of course, absolutely. Well
I agree with that. That's it's trying to, it's almost simplifying the message. Just you know, this is just an object. It's not God.
So whatever changes around, I don't give a FCK, to be honest.
Yeah, it does say when they say that God is here or Christ is there or whatever, don't believe them, right? Think about that too. Remember that scripture? That's the one that pops in my head. Is when they say, you know, Christ is here or there, or that this guy's the Antichrist or this guy or whatever, you know, and that's what it means to me. It's like when people say
No one
that,
knows
let's
who
take
is
it with a grain of salt, right? You know what I mean?
You know, my perception of the subject is we will know who the Antichrist is when he introduces himself. But my assumption is as well, he will be kind of groomed for us for a while, so we will see him as a quote unquote good guy. So later people will accept him. He won't be just like popping up from out of nowhere. I think he will be groomed as a society to accept him, and then he declares him as Antichrist. That's my perception.
I'm a sheep in human's clothing. Come on, the dawns. Go on, you sheep. Humpback.
Good one. I like it.
Oh God.
Nice.
It's Chilling from West Virginia.
I'm from that city as myself. I was born in that city. The city he's talking about, the football team he's talking about, he supports. I was born there.
Well, that's where all West Virginians came from.
Aberdeen.
West Virginia, where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
Yeah, that's what they say about people in Wales.
That's what we say about That's what we say about Kiwis.
Is everyone in the world misremembering the same way by chance when it's mathematically impossible? What's the cause? Okay, the forest doesn't fall down without a wind. So what's causing everyone to misremember?
No smoke without fire. Yeah, true.
Remember the same way. That's what we all want you to know. We want to know what your thoughts are on that. And then the doctrinal paradoxes, there's two questions. Explain why almost all people that know their Bibles are always shocked by the nature of these doctrinal paradoxes.
That's true. I mean, not so shocked anymore when we hear them because we know they're happening. But when you first hear a certain one, it's like, what? It doesn't. Surely not. But along the way, you get a bit more used to it. You know what I mean?
I see it this way. Look into yourself, what you were thinking about reading Genesis. Did you ever think about the flat earth when you were globber? You never did.
No.
It never came to your mind.
No.
The same as we are reading scripture, because we are not focused on the particular verse, we just slip out from our mind. We don't see those things. That's how it works, I think. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I see those. I see those things.
You're one of you. Majority doesn't.
Yeah, no. What I'm trying to say is that it's not that I have read over a scripture or heard it repeated through a sermon or something many times and just picked up on what the going thought was. What I'm saying is that I have anchor memories that I can still bring to mind now and describe to you of why I remember particular words being in particular verses. So I definitely did not remember it wrong. It's part of my being. I remember the words. I remember the person and how they said them through their mouth.
Yeah.
But you are still one of you. You know, not a lot of people does what you do. You know, not a lot of people remember. They just accept. They say something new. They say, "Oh, I thought so. It was this way. Oh, probably I was wrong." You know, and just go over it. And just
and those are the ones that I would have to say that I'm fuzzy on. You know, I maybe here or there, but there are some that I do know for sure are not what they used to be.
Oh yeah.
I get you.
definitely. What you saying, Derek? You good?
I think so. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I came in because I was still thinking about when you were with Flats in a stream with Sean, PJ.
Yeah. What?
I mean, I think
Triggered
of
me.
it as like a like. Have you ever seen that show MASH?
Yes.
You know, where it's kind of like emergency surgery in a way.
Yeah, Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. Yeah, MASH. Yeah.
And you in a way are, you know, kind of like a guy where like you need to hold a person down. Like, you know, you had it coming, you silly shite. I don't mean to sound like that,
No, but
but
the chat was saying PG was a bully, man. That's what I heard.
Saying I was a bully.
No,
That's
he was not.
That's
No.
because Sean said it. That's because Sean said it. Because he
No,
called me a
but
bully.
you're not. No.
No, I'm not. Because I said I'll never be a bully. I got bullied. He says that's why you're a bully. Then all right, okay. So every person that's bullied turns into a bully. Of course they do.
I mean, but when it's like, I made a video about it, like about when people get like spiritual infections, you know, they'll direct their anger right at you, and it's very important not to take that into you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know he triggered me. That's why in the second half of the stream I shut up. I actually put myself on mute and shut up.
I think I could master it, you know. Whenever I see the retard speaking in a matter of global Earth or whatever, theory of evolution or Big Bang or whatever, I always make a laugh of them. And I just don't give a FCK what they're gonna say. And they always try to insult me. I'm like, man, you have to be really intelligent to try to insult me, because it doesn't affect me. Because I often say it, to be offended is a choice. I choose not to be offended. So whatever you do, you cannot win.
That's it.
But the main driving point I want to make is that Keith was successful in making an incision and cleaning out the infection. It's that infection that Sean had or has. Or
yeah, those infections were cleaned by the pure amputation.
If you have any experience in dealing in the medical industry, like as far as like, you know, treating wounds, you know, sometimes people will have wounds that heal over, and in order to treat them, you have to open them back up to clean it out. And because the infection was so bad, or the decay was so bad, their nerve endings don't feel the sensation of when it's cleaned out or washed out.
Yeah.
And so they don't even acknowledge, oh, you're not right. You know, like, oh, you're just an idiot. You're so stupid and this and that. And you don't know what you're doing. That's literally what happens.
Yeah. But to say, I mean, obviously, he triggers me. He triggers me a lot. But to call me out to say that I look like a heroin addict coming from him is unbelievable.
Oh, right. No, and that's not really, that's not his soul talking. That's the sickness talking, PJ.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, right. No, or the sickness itself is just trying to be like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're such a dummy.
Well, I would just say it's demonic. I wouldn't say it's a sickness. I would say it's demonic.
PJ, well, it's easier to put it in sickness type terms.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. And you were there like to help Keith in a way, like to hold him down while he could be operated on. Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Oh, it sounds funny.
They always say, oh, because you don't understand. And I say, you're correct. I don't stand under you. So I comprehend.
Yeah. Right, Luke, you were saying?
I was just saying it's it's just demonic energy. When you got people like that on the channel. I don't know why you're putting yourself through it. Like,
oh, I know. I mean, I've only been back about.
I'm not having anything to do with it.
I've been back.
I get it. Excuse me.
I've been back 3 times on it. And there's
like,
no
I totally get that for years.
Every day, no way.
Sorry, you were both talking.
I know.
For years, that's been the strategy. Like, if they don't hear you, just let them go. You know, don't pay them any more mind. But with the way
this
that
way, if you do God's work for God, the devil will always come after you. So if you are left alone and nothing happens to you, it means the devil is happy with you. But if you are really exposing his agenda, his plan, he'll be going after you. So then you know you're doing good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, if I may continue.
Go on. Go on.
Okay, thank you. What's going on here is, like, in years past, when there was such a high flow of people coming into new information, it was kind of easy to pass people over, you know, because you're just trying to address what you can when you can. But now, the way Google and YouTube are operating, where they're trying to stifle the amount of people we can talk to, we're kind of left with who's still there.
Got it.
And there's people like Sean Hawkins, where, like, he doesn't know how to ask for help, but he knows he needs it. And so that's why he's always berating us. And with the help of PJ and Keith, just the other day, yesterday, like, he was proven wrong 100% in full face of everyone. And he's like, oh no, nothing happened.
I think he's around my age, but he really acts like a freaking child, you know? Like a
Well, you know, I
very
think that's due
insecure
to
child.
childhood abuse, to be honest. You know, a lot of stuff
Possibly,
is
yeah.
really deeply rooted.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, after he got done with the surgery, he still was spewing out a bunch of infection, and he just ran off at the mouth constantly, and I let him go.
And Roger, like, you were like a backup surgeon for Keith at the same time, you know, but because Sean knew that about you, like, he didn't even want to talk to you.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't want to hear from you at all.
Yeah, and I'm just a
Stay
liar.
away, Roger.
He's a liar. That's all you could call me. He was a liar and a heroin addict, which has been both true in the past, but not at the minute.
Yes. And you got Luca is like the main panelist.
Yeah.
So the show starts and it's just into Luca and Flatzoid arguing from the minute it starts.
I know. I came in the other day and I had to debate Luca, and I really didn't want to. I mean, I've done it a billion times. I really didn't want to, but I did it anyway. You know what I mean?
Luca is not the main representative of the globe anyway.
No, of course not.
Yeah, like, he's not somebody you have to convince. Like, he's somebody where, like, as soon as he realizes the flow is going somewhere else, he kind of goes that way.
Yeah.
But Luca, you know, is perfect example of the Globe Earth community, you know, the one who are fighting for the globe all the time. So I often say it, you provide for them thousands, hundreds of examples of evidence. It hit them in their heads, you know, and they will always know you don't understand. Oh no, you don't know. Oh no, you're wrong. They never can be convinced, you know. It's impossible. I say it as well often that you cannot convince anyone to anything. You're the only one who can change your mind. I cannot change your mind.
We can't convince anyone, to be honest. Only God can.
It's possible, you know. So they have to get to their own time to this. So every Glober was
like just what happened with Keith, PJ, and Roger yesterday. It was proof positive, 100%. Sean was proven wrong, and he didn't see it.
No, he's blinded.
Holy crap!
You know, he cannot see the truth. It's impossible for him.
And then instead of acknowledging, well, he didn't because his senses in that way are so decayed and numb. He didn't even understand. He didn't get it.
No. But we've had Luca concede many flat Earth claims a million times. Me and PJ have. It's an ongoing process, but he still goes back to the crap after that. Yeah. It's pointless.
Absolutely. Right. Can I get on with this video? Because I need to get over
Oh,
on the
I'm
Rumble
sorry. I
side.
didn't mean to.
That's all right. No, it's just because I've been on 2 hours and it's about 9 minutes of this left or something, maybe 10 minutes, and I've got to get over to Rumble and do Chosen and what's love got to do with it. Oh, good, man. You can stick around.
We're not confused because somebody misquoted it. Okay? It's 10 to the 25th power.
So what is it doing?
Impossible.
It's put the actual, what we remember in the actual, right? Okay.
Hosea 4:6. My people blank from lack of knowledge. You can get 10 out of 10 to say perish. Mark 4.
Always perish are destroyed is different. Usually, it's usually always perish.
14:30. How?
Sorry?
I've always heard it perish. That's always been
perish.
the way.
Yep.
Yeah, perish.
What
How
verse
many
number is that?
Hosea 4:6.
Okay.
Hosea 4:6. And then Mark 14:30. How many times did the cock crow before Peter denied Jesus? 3 to me that I
3
remember.
times. Oh no, has that changed?
We all remember 3, but it's actually twice. Okay.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that it changed.
That's
3 times.
Oh, that's
Right.
how laws based
that
on
one
that.
always stuck in my head because it rhymed. Because thou shalt deny me
And
thrice.
that's
The cock
laws
crows.
based on that. Yeah.
14.
That's the maxim of law. Like when
Matthew
you get sent
Bible.
a notice, you've got 3 chances. Like, notice, reminder notice, default notice. You get 3 chances.
Well, it does as well.
Hosea 4:6 in the Matthew Bible. My people perish because they have no knowledge.
Oh, you've still got perish in your Bible?
Yep, perish.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it does say it. It does say it. And Jesus say, this is Mark 14:30. And Jesus, this is King James Version. And Jesus saith unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this day, even in the night, before the cock crow twice, thou shalt deny me thrice. Okay.
Okay. The 3 denials. So it's 3 denials, but
I've always thinking, so it's still been 3. It was always 3 and 3 to me.
Okay.
Because there was
Yeah,
definitely 3 denials, obviously, of denying me 3 times, obviously. But if a cock crow was ever mentioned, I always thought it was 3 times. But I'm not going to be 100 billion% in it. You know what I mean? Matthew 8:28. How many demoniacs came out of the tomb?
Yeah, that one's different for me.
I'm dropping in a private chat from the Matthew Bible.
Okay. Hosea 4:6 was, my people perish because they have no knowledge. So yours says perish for that one. Okay. And the next one is, and Jesus saith unto him, verily I say unto thee, this day, even in this night, before the cock crows twice, it says twice in that one, thou shalt deny me thrice. So yeah, your one. So the first one, you've got perish, which is still got perish. But the second one, you've got the thrice. You've got the twice instead of thrice. So you're okay with the first one, but the second one in that Bible is, first one's changed, but the second one hasn't. No, first one hasn't, but the second one hasn't. Has, sorry. GP, Okay.
Crow before Peter denied Jesus.
Okay.
We all remember 3, but it says twice. Matthew 8:28. How many demoniacs came out of the tombs to meet Jesus? I've been in the Word 40 years. I never heard of any 2 demoniacs coming out of nowhere. Period.
Yeah, that was a change for me for sure.
That should be one. Therefore, I'll let him do it. It'll get the video done quicker.
Matthew 12:10. Therefore I delight in weakness and insults and distresses and persecutions and difficulties on behalf of Christ. For when I am blank, then blank is strong. Well,
when I am weak, he is strong. Should be, shouldn't it?
It should be, but it's not anymore.
What everybody remembers is when I am weak, then he is strong. But what
For when I am weak, he's strong. So now it's for when I am weak, I am strong. So when you're weak, you're also strong. Okay?
Yeah, you give yourself strength.
Yeah, you give yourself strength. Yeah, so that's contradictory, I think. Thanks, Kaylee. Thanks, Kaylee. It was a bit stuttery to begin with. It was a bit stuttery to start off with. But
You know who Luca... Sorry.
Yeah. Go on.
You know who Luca looks like? I've worked out who he reminds me of.
Who?
He looks like Dr. Nick Riviera from The Simpsons.
Hi, everybody.
And he even talks like him. Hello, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
That's what I think in my head every time he says hi, everybody. Ever since he's been on panels and stuff, I've always thought that.
Really?
Maybe he's voice actor, you know? Who knows?
Wow.
it's always said is when I am weak, then I am strong, which is very unfamiliar and it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't seem right.
Luke 6:49, but he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built his house upon the
sand.
I think you want to say sand, against
Yep.
which the blank did beat. I think
Wind,
most people are going to say wind. But what if I told you Luke 49 in every version will tell you that he built his house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat?
Okay. What? Okay.
You know, if that doesn't knock you off your chair,
It is strange, very strange. Very strange.
I really think you have an agenda. I think your doctrine has become an idol.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Abraham. God came to him and he told him something that the example of Abraham tells me that at rare occasions, God is willing to appear unrighteous.
There you go, Kim. Kim said, since I was saved, that one of my hold on scriptures, for when I am weak, he is strong. Yeah. Our strength is in him. He's the one that's strong.
To test his servants. That's what he did with Abraham. And that's what he's doing to you right now. He's allowing Satan to fiddle with Grandma's Gutenberg. Look it up. Amos 8:11 is a precedent where God withdrew his word as a judgment. Read the second chapter of Lamentations. There's 7 or 8 different examples of that in the Bible. So this is not heresy. What did the dove bring back to Noah? In his mouth. Everyone will tell you a branch.
Olive branch, yeah.
They won't tell you a berry or something else. It's
or a branch of some sort, anyway.
Not possible that everybody remembers the same thing. Genesis 28:14. Your descendants will be like the blank, and all the blank of the earth will be blessed.
Right.
Most people will remember if they remember it, they'll remember the stars of the heavens and the nations. But what it says is your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and all the families of the earth will be blessed.
What?
And we're not confused by Genesis 15:5, which says the dust of the earth. All right, and lastly, Genesis 8:11. What did the dove bring back? I think I did that one already. All right, so here then are your biblical paradoxes. 2 Corinthians 11:8. I robbed other churches. Now, understand the instinct that you have is to dive into the commentary and tell us what it actually means. Okay, but that's irrelevant because none of us remember Paul robbing churches. And if you go to the original, it says robbed. The original word means that he stole. Luke 19:27, but those enemies of mine who did not want me to be king over them, bring them here and kill them in front of me. This is a showstopper whenever I do podcasts or interviews. And all the podcast hosts and the guests and the posts, all of them say, that's No way was that in my Bible. No way. I did one interview with 20,000 views.
The Mark one, it just that does me nothing a bit. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. When he had spit on the man's eyes and put his hand on him, Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" He just spat on him. It's like two. No.
Yeah, and for me, the Luke one, like I was saying before, that's Jihad Jesus. That was a tough one for me.
Of course, it's slave.
Jesus, Jesus never preached to slay anyone.
No, of course not. Of course not.
And 600 posts, and I think 3 or 4 were negative. The rest were all positive. It was a very Christian community. It's not possible. I would be laughed off the stage, basically, but that's not what's happening. Mark 8:23, Jesus spitting in a guy's face to heal him. Come on, people. Isaiah 8:3, but then, this is Isaiah, then I made love to the prophetess, and she conceived and gave birth to a son, and the Lord said to me, name him Marhar Shalal Hashbaz. Well, Isaiah later on, he rebukes adultery. The prophetess is not his wife. There's no text for that. You're making it up. Isaiah 60:16, you will also suck the milk of nations and suck the breast of kings. 2 Kings 8.
Hi, everybody.
And that's what Luke sent me, so I had to quickly put it up.
Oh, he does look like him as well. Oh my goodness.
It
doesn't look anything like me.
Just hang a pair of glasses and a bad sweater on him.
Oh wow, that's funny. That's funny.
Hath he not sent me to the men which sit on the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Now again, I don't care what the context is. I don't care what the comment.
See, that one I can never remember reading anyway, but it shocked me when I heard it. So to me, it doesn't seem right at all. Not that I remember ever reading it at that point when I first heard it. I've obviously seen it since. I never remember reading that at all. But so it shocked me. It just doesn't seem right to me.
There he is. I don't care why they're doing it. What I'm telling you is after 40 years of intense Bible study and memorization, I'm here to tell you that if
you look nasty about flat size new panel member. Number 1 panel member,
there was any passage in my Bible that talked about people eating their own dung and drinking their own piss, I would know it's in there. And so would you.
That's what I would have thought. Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There's an obscure passage in 2 Kings where there's a judgment and, they're eating their own dung. And no. This came to my attention maybe.
Yeah, that's what I remember, Derek. That's what I remember. Jesus spits in his hand and mixes it with clay or mud, whatever. Can't remember exactly mud or clay, but it was mixed with a dirt of some sort.
5 or 6 months ago for the first time.
Whoa.
And then sacrificing female sheep. You got to be kidding me. Now, here's your big problem.
I thought you were still in here, Derek, to be honest. I thought you were still on the vinyl.
Okay. Oh, there's 3 more. Women with wings, and then they're bringing infants to Jesus so that he can touch them, and then Sarah gives Hagar to Abraham as his wife instead of his concubine. That's okay. Genesis 16:3.
Yeah, all of them are really strange. Not remembered by me. Very strange.
Bible version. We are not confused by versions. It is not a translation.
No problem, Derek. Oh, good, bro. Oh, good.
issue. It is not confusion by misquotes. It is the Bible supernaturally changing, period.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
even if you convince yourself that all these observations are inconsequential, you still have no explanation for all of these other types of changes that you see on the screen here. And this is only some of them. I have 3 more slides of these. These have nothing, many of these have nothing to do with memory.
So new names, new places. Hold on. Go on.
What were these verses before? Because I'm not familiar with what they were before.
Verses before that. Right.
Which ones?
And like piss is quite a slang sort of.
Yeah,
term.
this it's about I heard this one about 2017 when I remember this being a Mandela. Well, hearing about it be a Mandela. I don't know it personally as a Mandela, but I remember hearing it and thinking that's not right. You know what I mean? But yeah, about drinking in your own piss and eating your own dung, your own shit, basically. It says that. It does say that, yeah. I mean, I have read it. It does say that.
I'm reading it now. It does say it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Strange.
And as for women angels, I know we have images, pictures, art pieces that depict women's angels, but in scripture, I've never heard it. Female angels. So yeah, them ones. You know something? I think that's it.
So
I think
women angels, yeah. So how the women angels created with the earthly women Nephilim?
Doesn't say that.
Good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. When I first fell into this thing, I thought I was going mad, so I actually got a notebook and started writing them down. And I had 3 pages worth of worldly things, logos, histories, icons, and then I had 3 pages of biblical things before I just decided to stop writing and just kind of take it a day at a time. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Leave it at that. That's pretty much the full video. The rest of it just had that little bits of information about the books and stuff like that, and what type of Mandelas there are, type like the emojis, all that kind of things. And it's there. It's there. The link is actually his link for his channel is actually in my description. I'll have to change it because it's going grayscale. It does that when you edit something, when you edit your stream at some point, it goes in grayscale. All your links go to grayscale for some reason. So I'll have to sort it out. But yeah, I'll leave it at that for tonight on the YouTube side. Ooh.
At the top of that web.
I just put it back in. It's sticking a bit. So I'll leave it there for that on the YouTube side. And I'm going to head over to Rumble. Done 2 hours and 22, yeah. So that'll do it for this side. Yeah, you said that you asked me at the beginning of the week if I needed any more topics for next week. I will do now. Obviously, I didn't stream for 2 days, so yeah. If you've got any topics, Luke, that'll be greatly appreciated.
No, Chilling was just saying in the chat I should go on to streams and do Luca.
Yeah,
and
we've thought about
I've done it. I went on Sov's channel as Luca once, and Sov got all triggered, going, "How did you get in here?" And he was the only one who thought it was. Everyone else
I've seen you and Luca on my stream together. How you doing, Luca? Well, Luca was there.
And then so Luca started putting on his handle the one true Luca. Like
yes,
it's going to end up like that scene in Spartacus.
Definitely.
No, I am Luca.
Because like you told us, Vlad, or somebody said Vlad could do a good impression of Flatside. So I thought like you two should hide your avatars and get on a stream together and pretend to be Flatside and Luca. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think
we should do that. We should do that.
That would be cool. But yeah, I've got to head over to Rumble now. I'm going to finish off this side. Everybody's welcome over. I'll put the the Rumble side over. We've got to watch 2 episodes of The Chosen, and then What's Love Got to Do with It, which Heron chose last weekend. Here's a link. But I'll play out with a song first, obviously. You know, I always do.
Hey, PJ.
Yes, Baza?
Hey, real quick, I hate to run it any longer than it has to be, but can I have like 3 minutes?
Of course you can.
Okay, I just wanted to share this with everyone. I don't know if I'll ever get to it again, and this is probably the time to do it. So when this Mandela thing hit me, I was laying in bed. I was looking for a recipe online, and Google had a suggested thing of JFK for the remaster. And when I was young in school, I looked into that, and then I went back to sleep. So I looked at it again, and that's what triggered me. Right, was the JFK one. And then I spent 3 days thinking I was going crazy, writing down in a notebook, literally pages and pages, spending all 3 days on YouTube. So by the time I got done with the worldly things, I found about the scriptures, and I started going through a couple of them just to check off the top of my head. It's the one that I absolutely knew by heart, that I knew that I had anchor memories for. And as I was thumbing through, I noticed that on this particular Bible that I was using, one of my newer ones, my son had accidentally gotten a little bit of a rip on the edge of one of the pages when he was, you know how you just kind of rifle through a book, right? Just kind of the pages.
Yeah.
So he had accidentally done that. No fault of his own, no big deal. It only tore it like maybe a millimeter.
Yeah.
So after I had researched most of the changes, I just happened upon that one, and I said, well, let me see what it says on this side. And nothing really hit me, so I flipped the page and I turned it over, and it was pointing dead to Amos 8:11, and I was like, oh, well, there you go.
Wow. Amazing, man. I think you've actually told me this before. I think I've heard you tell me this before. I can't remember when, but I'm sure I've heard it from you vocally before, not just in chat. But yeah, it's brilliant, man.
It may have been. So I just wanted to stick that in real quick before you post it.
Yeah, nice one, bro. Nice one. Always a pleasure, dude. Always a pleasure. There we go. Give you the stage. But yeah, nice one for that, Baza. Bless you, dude. Thanks for everybody who's joined us. Oh no, sorry, I'm like play up the song first, then I'll say all that crap. Right, Harry Mac. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, Harry Mac. In a minute. Do it.
What's up?
You look like a TikToker that would like jump scare us.
That's fair. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do. I would love to do a freestyle rap for you.
Okay. All right, do it. Go.
All right. But I need your help. Can you guys give me like a handful of creative, challenging words to incorporate into my freestyle?
Estúpida.
Oh, Mattman, good to see you, bro. Forgot to say hello.
Good to see you too. Hey, Ryan, Mr. Sergeant. What's going on, man?
What's going
on? Bless you, dude.
Pendejo, a phone, car,
Okay, hold on. Say them back. Estúpido. What was the second one?
pendeja.
What is that?
It means dumbass in Spanish.
All right, let's just do estúpido. I'll stick with that.
Okay, estúpido, Coca-Cola, roses, car, and phone.
Those are great. Can you give me one like complicated English word? But I don't actually speak Spanish, so I'm gonna do my best. But give me like a, some kind of word with lots of syllables.
What does he speak like a black guy?
Yeah.
Just because he rapped, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay.
That was so good. All right.
Cultural appropriation.
Coca-Cola, roses, car, phone, and then you said
incompatible. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Compatible, right?
Yes.
Incompatible. Y'all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
He's good though.
He is.
Yeah.
Riot's beats, make it funky.
Yo. I'm about to do my duty though. I get loose when I'm all up in the studio. Yeah, Mac came through with that unruly flow. All my competition spitting that estupido. They ain't got no intelligence. Every time that I rhyme, yo, you can go and tell all your friends. Say Mac be that sensei. Wordplay Wednesday to the illa gorilla, the frequency killer, the rhyme spiller. Y'all know I'm getting ill in the zone. Homie in the back was like, I gotta film on my phone. We pulling it out. The #1 flower, no doubt. Yeah, think twice though before you open your mouth. That's a message to whack rappers. Y'all know that I'm the flow controller. All my freestyles are classic like Coca-Cola. Y'all know that I'm rocking full throttle. I got the Coca-Cola, so right now I'm popping the bottle. My name is bubbling. Hey yo, it's content's under pressure. I blow up like a bomb threat on the constant they can't measure. All of the different ways in which my brain is moving. On a daily basis, I'm improving. I got you nodding to the side and grooving from the lyrics I spray. Y'all know it's 24/7, homie, every day. Yeah, I just keep it up in motion. I kick them lyrical drugs, got the beat overdosing. None can oppose this. They like lyrically, we really went and chose this. He's like Neo in the Matrix, he's the one, and when he's spitting, he's ferocious. Musical styles is beautiful, just like some roses. Yeah, I'm out here growing out the earth. Yo, every time I spit, I'm about to show you what it's worth. Beautiful rose when I rock in the spot. Hip hop, she loves me not. I think she loves me. We ending on that odd number. Cause in the game of rap, my tongue's like that of drummer. Yeah, I bring the rhythmic shit. Listen real quick while I'm spitting it right off the tip, making you flip. Yo, it's H-Mac, I be doing it different. Running over tracks and I'm going the distance. I'ma flip it and come up with some new shit. I scheme from roses and then go to tulips. From tulips, I go to sunflowers. From sunflowers, I go to hostas, to lilies. I'm the imposter, they couldn't kill me. I'm growing like plants out the ground. I came through with the sound that is certainly profound. Yo, I'm really in the zone, I'm adjusting your tone. I can see it on the screen, I already said phone. But I'm nice with the bars and I shine like some stars. I'ma make you listen cause I'm driven like cars. Let's go. Yeah, you know I'm working magic though. I ain't tripping, I'm just going where I have to go. Yeah, can't nobody out there really match the flow. They try to do it like me, they incompatible. Yeah, yo, they ain't matching it all. Grip up on the mic and then I spit the passion for y'all. Yeah, I'm about to break it down forever, make your jaw drop. Cause when I rhyme, I get loose every time I rock spots. Now, listen to the way I do this. All up in my brain, that's where the truth is. I start to get ruthless. Hey yo, I knew the two of y'all would embrace this. Homie with the phone and homie with the braces. Yeah, I'm repping for both of y'all. MCs know that I don't roast it all. I be out here spitting crazy flair. You got the dye in it and you got the wavy hair. Yo, I amaze every time I rhyme, I make your head hurt. I see you got the crucifix necklace and the red shirt. Hey yo, I'm grabbing anything that's in front of me. I show them what it's gonna be. These rappers couldn't front on me. Yeah, when I spit, I stay on my route and I keep kicking bars till the beat's fading out. I just do what I feel and go out in the place. My only mission when I'm spitting, put a smile on your face. Let's go.
There we go. Done. Done.
I like Luke's avatar. He's Dr. Nick over here.
Yeah, that's Luca.
It's Luca.
It's Luca.
Luca. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I think he's fake. I don't even think he really has any problems. I think he just comes in and acts like that because he tries to talk to somebody. I honestly do. I've been thinking that for a long time. Just because how stubborn he is. You think that if he was smart, if he was slow or something, right? If he had some kind of learning disability, wouldn't he have already agreed with us by now? You know, like wouldn't we have been able to convince him by now of the truth? Like, it just seems weird, right?
I think he goes back to the Globers and tells them, and then they change his mind again. I think.
No, he does it sometimes while you're talking to him.
I think he does it out of spite. I think he likes it.
Into his head. He just doesn't get it, bro.
He likes staying on the fence.
So he's not on the fence at all. He's hardcore, bro.
I know, just
Right. I'm going to end the YouTube side, guys. You guys, end the YouTube now. If you're not joining us on the Rumble side for the movies, thanks for joining us on the YouTube side, and I will see you tomorrow night again. Bless you. Thanks for being here. Here the sunset's free. It's free.
Indeed.